All right, lovies, welcome back to Actual Play UK and welcome back to Heart, the City Beneath. Part 2 of 2. We'll be concluding our story tonight. My name is Merely Matt. I'm more usually heard and not seen on the Merely Roleplayers podcast, where theatrical people play role-playing games. If you're into horror and weirdness and things that go bump in the night, we have a long-running Monster of the Week campaign that I think you'd probably enjoy. Let's meet the rest of the cast for tonight's game of Heart, or let's have tonight's cast reintroduce themselves after part 1. Starting, please, with Maddy.
Hello, yes, I am Maddy. My pronouns are they, them. You can hear me on Realms of Peril and Glory, the wonderful actual play show which Zack and James, another APUK alumnus, produce. And you can also hear me on A Game of One's Own, where I play solo and 2-player tabletop role-playing games.
And tell us what character you're playing and what are your beats for this session? What are the story beats you're going to be trying to hit in this final session?
Yes, so my character is called Abelard. He, they pronouns. He's a drow and also a witch who has a truly terrifying 9-foot skeletal true form.
Classic.
And my beats that I'm trying to achieve are destroy evidence or rhetoric that proves my task to be impossible, or acquire a renowned piece of equipment.
Exciting. Remind us very briefly what that task is.
My task is to merge with the heart and discover all its secrets and perhaps somehow control it to gain massive power.
Just a no small thing, yeah. Just a little plan.
Yeah, just like a little one of my many tick boxes for Thursday afternoon.
And Maddy, before we head into the nightmare that is the city beneath, the city that will try to make all of your dreams come true, is there a city you feel like could make all of your dreams come true, either real or fictional, either that you've visited or that you haven't?
I think the fictional version of Oxford from his Dark Materials.
Oh.
Because I'd love to see what my demon is. I'm pretty sure it's a cat, but if it's not, that would be a nice surprise. And yeah, just kind of seeing all the cool sort of technology and yeah, I'd just be fascinated to see aesthetically what it's like. And also just, yeah, see if there's an armored bear somewhere lurking around. Probably not in Oxford, but you never know.
That place has airships. You can have an idyllic childhood on the rooftops. It's got everything.
Yeah.
Idyllic.
I mean, if you ignore the theocracy.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
Moving around the screen. Dan, welcome back.
Oh, God. Does it have to be me next? Yes, fair enough. All right, yeah. God damn it. Hi, I'm Dan. So I'm from a YouTube/Twitch channel called Brit Twits. There are 3 of us with 3 idiots that play video games. It's a fun time, I swear. Yeah, so that's where you can mainly find me, over there. I am playing Ruff Barkley, a human hound, whose main goal is to find the place where the original owner of his badge died and make it a monument. Make it a real place in the heart, which is not easy.
Again, no small undertaking. What beats have you got active for this session, Dan?
So my beats are, I want to acquire an NPC bond that has access to useful information and to gain authority within a faction that I can use to learn more about my goal.
Exciting. And Dan, is there a city, real or fictional, that you feel like could make all of your dreams come true?
So I had a mini think about this just now. And I'm going to choose specifically Celadon City from Pokemon because I really want my own Pokemon. Ignore the dogfighting aspect. I just want my own fire dog and I want my own little grass dinosaur. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right, I want those for my own and I want to be friends with them and it'll be great.
What are they if not chibi demons from his Dark Materials?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, we said the same thing, Maddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
just different aesthetically, but at the core, very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Role-playing games and streaming brings you together. You find common ground. Continuing around the screen. Zack, welcome back to the stream.
Hello, thank you very much. I'm Zack. I'm also from Realms of Peril and Glory, as Maddy so fabulously prefaced. I do fun things with games. And actually, you're on Twitch right now. Why don't you go over to RP Geeks D&D? Some of the RP Geeks have been on here before. I'm currently running a game of Masks over there called Masks 2044. It's like The Boys meets X-Men meets Unbreakable meets me. So go watch it. It's good. It is very good. We've already recorded it. I can say that confidently.
That sounds incredible.
It's good, actually, really good.
Oh my
It's got a great cast. It's Liv Kennedy, Nathan Blade, Emily Bates, and me. Go do that. Anyway, sorry. I am playing.
Don't apologize.
I am playing Killian Thistle, who is an Alfear junk mage. Pronouns he, him, same as myself. And he has just met his sister again. In a way that he didn't expect. Also, I didn't know you knew my sister, Fiona. We're gonna come back to that.
We're gonna circle back to that.
We're gonna circle back. My beats are my major beat that I have is to take major mind fallout, and my minor beat is to put the acquisition of knowledge above preserving the lives of my allies, which feels like it will come very naturally to Killian.
This is one of the things I love about the beats system in Heart, is that the beats that you choose are things you're choosing as a player, not necessarily as a character. So you can choose to take beats that will hurt your character.
Yes.
You want your character to be mentally traumatized. And we'll be gunning for that today.
And my big final kind of zenith beat is to find the final secret you have so desperately sought and to destroy it so no one else can know of it. So
what is that secret that you've so desperately sought?
I think I'm looking for revenge. Like, I'm looking for a way to like have some kind of revenge. I think I'm looking for the secrets that have kept my family buoyed in the lap of luxury and just rip it from existence. But hey, I don't know. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And Zack, is there a city, real or fictional, that you feel like could make all of your dreams come true?
So I am going to not do a fictional city. I work in the entertainment industry. Los Angeles is that place. Unfortunately, like, I know there's going to be people who are like, that's not true. You could tell me why all the influencers moved to LA.
Yeah.
You tell me that and I'll tell you it's because that's the city that will make your dreams come true. It's horrible. It's rotten. Don't go there. But also, that's where the power and the money is. So go there and get some.
First you get the power, then you get the money.
Then
Eventually.
you become Matthew Mercer.
No, but yeah, that's my answer. Los Angeles is that.
It's a fair answer. And finally, going all the way back around the screen, Fiona.
Oh, hello.
Hello, welcome back.
No, it's fine. Hello, my name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the host of What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast, and the DM's Book Club, where we read the books so you don't have to. So, yeah, those two podcasts are RPG related, but you don't need to listen to those now, because obviously we're here doing Heart, which I'm very excited for. I am playing Regina Mellifera, she, her as well, and she might have a thing going on, you know. She might be a human deep apiarist, which is basically just a walking beehive, I think is what it really describes itself in the book. But obviously with some sort of intelligence there, if I do say so myself. My beats you were going to ask me about. My minor one is just to find a helpful text, because I feel it's time to do some reading and just make sure we're all up on the same page, so to speak. And the major one is to attract a protege who has read my work, bless, and is determined to learn more. So I think that's perfectly acceptable and great. So
We met one candidate for that at the end of last session, but I don't know whether you'll want to attract that one.
You know what? it's a no from me. Yes.
Very kind offer, but
yeah.
no thank
No,
you.
it's gonna be a
Sorrow's prayers, you know.
I love Sorrow's prayers.
Sorrow's prayers.
I mean,
Sorrow's
the etc. really makes it.
Yes.
And Fiona, is there a city, real or imagined, that you think could make all of your dreams come true?
So obviously, I read so many books, do so many RPGs, but I feel like I'll have to go for the actual real answer and use a real city, and that would be Iowa City, Iowa. Because I am moving there, so it better make my dreams come true.
Otherwise, what a massive letdown.
What a massive go down. But yes, I have to say diplomatically, Iowa City, Iowa, because the only fun fact about Iowa City, Iowa, so good they've named it twice, is that it is the fictional birthplace of James T. Kirk. So there you go. That is my fact. And there's a little plaque on a stone which I've yet to find, but it is there. I will find it, and I'll be like, this is the start.
You will find it and you will Instagram it.
Yes, of course. Hi guys.
This is our cast. Welcome back for part 2 of Heart. Zack plugged some other Twitch channels there, but this is the one that you're watching right now. You're watching Actual Play UK. If you're not already following the channel, please hit the button and follow it right now. If you have the means and the wherewithal, do please also subscribe to the channel. And follow us on all of the social media as well. We're on Instagram, we're on X. Still doesn't feel right. We're on Twitter. And you can see lots of streams like this of people from around the UK podcasting and streaming role-playing game scene coming together for streams like this one. Mm-hmm. Before we dive back into our game, some content warnings. If you have seen part 1, which I hope you have, then you've already got a taste of the sort of content that we might be covering. But a general content warning for body horror, including but not limited to bodily transformation and irreversible organ replacement.
Fun.
Likely content warnings for obsession, addiction, and substance abuse, and possibly other general horror things might happen as we go along. So please, all of you out there in the audience, take care of yourself in whatever way you prefer, whether that's hiding behind a cushion, going in another room and getting somebody else to text you the details, or simply logging off if you realize that this isn't for you. We won't be cross as long as you've hit the subscribe and follow buttons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you pay the toll.
Yeah.
Obviously.
With that, shall we have a little recap of what happened in part 1?
Yes.
Just in case anybody didn't join us for that part, or just in case anybody needs a little refresher. So last time in Heart, the City Beneath, our 4 delvers travelled to Wardstone Nasanov, the pride and bastion of the Deep Apurists, the realest place in this unreal subterranean city. You arrive just in time to see Wardstone Nasanov destroyed, fallen, melted into tar-like ooze by Killian Thistle's sister Melissa, Regina Mellifera's former classmate Melissa, who seems to have somewhere in between the last time they saw her inspire the city above and now, seems to have had a hard time and misplaced something vital from the heart region. You saw Wardstone Nasanov rendered to nothing by Melissa. She disappeared into the ooze, and you fled, Ruff taking the lead. And that's where we're going to pick up now, as you flee into ash and smoke, into the thud of unseen debris hitting the ground, some far, some close enough to rumble the ground underneath your feet, as debris rains down out of the sky. And how is there a sky this far below Spire, the city of the Drow? questions that it's best not to dwell on too much down here in the depths of Heart, the city beneath. Rough. It's normally tricky to start a delve to the bunker, the destination you have in mind for this delve. Because the trick to finding the bunker is you have to be in full retreat. You have to be in a rout. And so if there's no actual threat around, you sometimes have to engineer the circumstances a little bit. You have to maybe trick the heart into letting you take this route. This time, no engineering necessary. Dan, can you describe Rough and tell us what it looks like as he's leading the way into a trench, a narrow trench in a smoky, ash-blown war zone?
So at the moment, Rough, it looks beaten up. Like he looks like he's been through this place many, many times. It looks like he hates it. As I also remember, he has Killian over his shoulder.
Probably.
If I'm rightly. So Rough stands I do now with a big blue trench coat, which underneath he has his badge, which he wears on his breast, and also he has his cudgel barely being shown. But as he's running through into this trench, he basically gets everyone down into the trench. He puts down Killian, and then he steps up and fires a gun, which he doesn't own. He just begins firing down range, and he points and goes, "Next trench, move," and keeps firing down. And he says, "Cover, cover, cover."
We're now on a delve. The delve to the bunker has the domains Desolate and Warren. It is a resistance 10 delve, so through your series of actions here, you're going to need to deal 10 stress to the delve, after which you will arrive at the bunker. So, Dan, do you feel like this is going to be a roll?
Yeah, I feel like this is Rough actually pointing the way he knows, which is the way he knows is to keep moving down the trench, and the point is to keep moving to the next cover point, fire, wait, next cover point, until eventually they make it out.
This feels to me like compel. So I think this is going to be compel plus Warren.
I have neither of those. Could
Exciting.
I argue for Hunt? Because he is currently firing at an unknown enemy.
It's interesting, I guess, because you need to almost convince yourself that that's what you're doing. Then, yeah, I respect the hustle. I'll let you roll Hunt for this.
Thank you.
What could you lose?
His imaginary weapon, which he now very much believes is real, by the way. He very much believes he has a gun and is firing it down range, could jam.
This sort of sounds like it's going to be a mind stress sort of thing. Because you're imagining strongly, and the success of this is dependent on the strength of your imagination in this moment.
Yeah.
So, who knows whether you'll take stress or not? But if you do, it's going to be to mind.
Okay.
Let's make the roll. Does anybody want to help?
When we help, does it have to be within those domains? Or can
You would need either Warren or Hunt to be able to help.
I do have Warren. So I would happily help. I'm just trying to work out how I would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have Hunt, but I like the idea. I'm like, okay, we're hunting things. And I go into the, I think I described it as a canvas bag of a body, and I will pull out those bees I took from the other person and throw them up into the air, almost like as a way to sort of like indicate threat, but maybe they can scurry and get into places and show the best route, as it were, to help in that sense.
Adding to the charade in some ways.
Yeah.
Before Regina does this, Abelard has to put her down, because Regina was also being carried away from Wardstone Nasimov.
Yes, of course.
It's a bit of a bony, spindly grip where you can feel sort of elbows digging into you in uncomfortable ways.
Ooh, so tight. and then throw the bees into the air.
And Fiona, as you're doing an action here, remind us what Regina looks like.
Oh, of course. So Regina is what is left of a human, as if being converted into a walking, talking beehive. There are bits of her skin, very paper wax-like, covering sort of her breastbone and clavicle, wearing, I think I said sort of simple robes before, I cannot remember exactly, across her, the odd bee or two sort of goes across her hands, etc., and then goes into the palm, and every so often maybe a bee goes out of the mouth, into an ear, from one eye into another eye, all that sort of good stuff. But essentially, there's definitely maybe this slight buzzing, as if the hum of a microphone is constantly with you at all times, and just comes from that. And she just looks happy despite the circumstances. This is wild.
Yeah, some of her bees are not enjoying the smoky atmosphere here, but coping.
Yes, smoker's lung. And I'll throw up those bees and be like, "Fly, pretties."
Exciting, great. So Dan, you get 1d10 for making the action. You had you have hunt,
I have
so
hunt,
that gives you
one for
one,
hunt.
and Regina's help gives you another one.
Helping.
Okay. I can imagine that Ruff imagines those bees being just a distress flare behind him, just being fired up into the air. He's like full on. He's in a completely different mind space now. And I rolled an 8.
An 8 is a success.
Nice.
It is a full success where you don't take any stress.
I rolled an 8, a 1, and a 2.
Lucky this isn't risky. So, first of all, let's get the mechanics out of the way. Roll 1d4, unless you have any delve equipment that increases the size of that.
I don't believe I do.
No, great. So roll 1d4 and we'll take that off the delve.
That is a 2.
Okay. 2 down of 10. And then tell us what this looks like as you succeed.
Basically, as he's firing in various different points. He like fires across a burst it's the left, a burst down the center, and a burst to the right. He looks down to see the party moving down, and he basically fires off the rest of the clip and drops the gun and runs. And as he runs, he's basically getting his hand up around the back of their heads to try and keep their heads down. And he is booking it. Like, he is going incredibly quick. He is like legging it as fast as he can, like getting his head down behind these trenches. He is terrified.
So all of you, propelled by Ruff, leg it through this narrow trench, hearing the thuds and detonations above your heads at ground level. And as you turn the twisting corners of this trench, you find yourself at a fork where it splits into several different channels. Down some of them, you can see thickets of what looks at first like razor wire, but you can see on closer inspection is the white bone of vertebrae twined into spirals, bladed and stained with old blood, writhing organically like a bramble thicket of bony razor wire, blocking at least some of these tunnels. Let's get an action or a reaction or a way of making progress from either Killian or Abelard, who we haven't heard from yet.
I think Abelard would like to sneak forward and be like a classic D&D rogue and sort of scout ahead and see what the best path forward would be, avoiding being sliced by any pointy vertebrae. And I have sneak, but I don't have desolate or warren.
Okay. This makes sense because, you know, Ruff has done this delve before, but the trenches change. And actually, as you're halting at this junction and starting to think about a more sneaky way forward, you can see what you couldn't see when you were moving fast, which is the intestinal movement of the trench walls as they shift around you. Maddy, remind us what Abelard looks like as you're taking this action.
Abelard is a a person in late teens, early 20s, skinny, ragged, dark hair, emo swoop fringe, lovingly patched clothes that have had to go through a lot, but could not afford to be replaced, and has various pieces of bone jewelry about his person. Uses he/they pronouns.
Right. And what could you lose by sneaking ahead?
I could accidentally get sliced by one of these curling vertebrae things, or I could set off a trap. I could accidentally poke my head above the trench and get a bit of shrapnel at me, that kind of thing.
So many options. You could get lost. You could get separated from the rest of the group. So we'll decide. If you take stress, we'll decide which of those feels more fun. So you get 1d10 for making the attempt. You get 1d10 for sneak. And you can get one more if anybody feels like helping.
Cannot.
Ah, yes.
No.
You'd need either Sneak or Warren to help.
No.
All right.
We're a little bit out of some of these characters' comfort zones on this delve.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All
Great.
right.
So, Maddy, you're rolling 2d10.
Okay. Highest is an 8.
That's a success.
Yay!
Success without stress.
Excellent.
So, roll your 1d4 to take some stress off this delve.
Damn it. 2.
Another 2. Steady progress. And describe your success.
I think Abelard kind of goes on all fours and sort of moves slightly jerkily forward. He looks slightly too comfortable being on all fours, and goes forward, sort of sniffs the air, peers into various different trenches, and then suddenly, like a pointer dog, kind of like one arm forward, is like that one.
And you point down the right trench, down the right junction. You continue to make progress. You may continue to lead your allies through. There's no safe route, but maybe the most direct, past these thickets of bladed bone, past unexploded munitions, some of which look mundane. You see sort of unexploded rockets and mines, and then some of which look decidedly organic or stone. You can't tell what would happen if they went off, but they don't look good. How's Killian feeling?
Not good. Killian is a talky boy. Killian's engineered for like getting people to do things that he wants, getting things from people, convincing people to do things that they don't necessarily want to do, or give him things. And when it comes down to fight or flight, he's not great at either of those things. So I think what Killian wants to try to do is find a way to convince this organic material to like show us a path, or open the most direct path possible. Kind of like how last time on our kind of tendony path, I kind of found ways of like bringing them together and moving them. Yeah,
when there's no people around, Killian talks to the heart.
Yeah. What should I roll for this?
I can see an argument for a few different things. It's definitely Warren, but it could be compel, it could be delve, it could be...
I'd like to do compel for sure. Could it potentially be a cult?
Unfortunately,
He says with a twinkle in his eye, Matt.
Killian.
I still can't knock the hustle, but unfortunately this time it is going to have to be Warren.
Okay, so am I right in thinking...
I'll let you have compel. Compel's perfectly fine.
Am I right in thinking I'm only getting 1d10 here for compel because I do not have Warren?
So you get one for
and
trying,
I get one for
plus
trying.
one for compel.
I forgot about that. So
I
2d10.
I'm happy to help if you need my help again.
I wouldn't mind the help.
Sure. So if you're talking to like, I don't know, stuff, I'm like over your shoulder going, You should listen to him. He's very good.
Intimidating the heart.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, please. You know, sort of definitely doing like finger points, like, let us in, please.
Ooh, woo.
I'm interested in Ruff's reaction to this.
Ruff is looking for another weapon. He is too busy like searching the bodies of people that are around. Apparently now, he's just literally found the body and he's like, "You've got a gun, give it."
Yeah, it's very much like as I imagined. Zack, you can say yes or no, but it feels very much Jesse and James from Team Rocket. Whereas everyone else is just like, we need to get on with this, and we're like
the most disgusting possible version of Jesse and James.
Absolutely.
And I'm Meow.
I was
Absolutely.
That is right.
No, don't make the horror game cute.
So 3d10, is that right?
3d10.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, I got 2 9s.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's another full success.
Doing very well.
Everyone's doing great on this delve. So give us, unless you have any delve equipment that would make it more, give us a d4 roll.
Okay. It's a 1.
Hey,
Every little helps.
continuing to make progress, and you do succeed. So tell us what that looks like as you and Regina coax the rippling walls of this trench.
Okay, so what I like to imagine is I found some kind of orifice. And the way in which I compel it is I kind of do some like gymnastics with my hand in the orifice in a way of like speaking to the heart, and it's disgusting and slimy and gross, but like it's almost artful. Like the way that this is compelling.
There's a ganglion in there that you're playing like a theremin.
Yes, exactly. It's very much like even though this looks slimy and wet and disgusting, there is technique and there is what's the word? An understanding of what he is doing to kind of help illuminate a pathway for us. And just to describe Killian you see is doing all this with this kind of half-broken China doll-esque mask with these enormous kind of ears poking out from either side. These tattered clothes that were once high, fine garments, brought low. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, and as you succeed, how does the trench respond and help you?
I'd like to imagine that it's almost like a bioluminescent like pathway is illuminated for us that kind of shows a safer path, or like where there is indecision, all the different pathways, it points us in a direction. And I kind of know that like maybe certain nerves and certain pathways flow in certain directions that are safer than others. Yeah.
And as the pathway begins to light up with this bioluminescence, the light plays off the cloud cover and the drifting smoke, and it illuminates some of the masses of fallen debris above the lip of the trench. And you see, like the head of a giant statue cracked in half of a giant stone face, except the plane of it where it's being cracked, where you would expect to see rough stone, you see blood and muscle.
Ooh.
You're seeing the remains of some of the heart's angels, creatures that the heart creates when it needs something done, and it doesn't care how messily it happens. And it's unclear whether what you're seeing is the result of a bombardment by the heart or the result of angels being blown out of the sky.
How fresh does this look?
It looks fresher than you'd expect,
Oh,
considering
no.
that the Ruff knows more about this than any of the rest of you. The action, the doomed and tragic military action that the 33rd Regiment fought deep in the heart all those years ago that led to the creation of the Hounds and the distribution of those badges. It seems like the landscape around the bunker is replaying that conflict. Perhaps this is a memory. Perhaps it's real. Who knows here on tier 3 of the heart?
Do I think that... Because I can see Ruff is, like, clearly reliving something. Can I see if, like, this space is, like, taking its shape from Ruff's experiences?
Very interesting. And I can see this having an influence on your progress, so we can make this a role that might help you on this delve. This feels like a discern.
Okay. I do have that.
Great.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to take the domain from Ruff rather than from the delve, which means I think we'll make it Haven.
I got that too.
You're rolling 3d10.
I am. Okay.
I would help, but I think Ruff is very preoccupied.
I don't think Ruff's in a position to
I
help
think he's
right now.
busy.
That is an 8.
Another full success. So roll that d4 again, first of all.
We're getting all the good rolls out of the way
2.
again.
Ooh.
2, steady progress continuing. 3 more will get you to the bunker. Zack and Dan, I'll let you work out what Killian discerns.
I think I go up to you and I kind of like it's almost mind meld, like a Klingon, not Klingon, what are they?
Vulcan.
Vulcan, there we go, mind meld, thank
Close,
you.
very close.
I do watch Star Trek, and I think I'm but it's like, again, gross, like one of my fingers has gone in your mouth or something like that.
Something like that. It's not technical, but
Really dirty
And your
fingernails.
ear, it's
Yeah.
like the mouth and the ear.
it's the finger that's been in the orifice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's wet.
Okay, the first thing you see in Ruff's head is an immediate physical reaction to that, which is a full-on, it's grab the cudgel and it is attacking the legs and full-on like throwing the assailant over. This doesn't happen in the physical realm. This is something that goes on in his head immediately as he feels the touch. What you do see in his head is that he has definitely run this before, but the memory is vague, as in he doesn't remember he remembers very little detail.
I wonder if what I'm doing is like pushing into that and like trying to discern more detail from your vague memory.
I think the one thing you'll remember, he will come to his mind, is that he'll remember there's a way to break the trenches.
As in
pull the trenches down behind them for the very last case retreat.
incredible.
So, which will then turn to, can I then attempt to bring down the trench behind us? He's probably going to be looking for some form of either explosive or some sort of trip, something that he can then set off, which will bring down the trench behind them and give them the last push to get them through it, hopefully.
I think that is something you can absolutely do, but I have one more question to add a bit of detail to what Killian sees. Killian sees that Ruff has done this delve before. How many instances does Killian see?
Actually, what he sees are hundreds of instances. And they're all at slightly different points in time.
Right.
So, for example, it's almost like there's a trail of Ruff as he moves. So every movement, when he pulls out a pistol sort of thing, which he doesn't have at the moment, but 80 of the other ones do. And and the whole point is like this keeps happening in sequence. It's almost like these are practice movements, but it seems as almost like he's repeating something that he has done in the past, or something that he remembers doing in the past. And there are tons of these. There are tons of Ruff, basically.
And from deep under that palimpsest of memories, Killian pulls out the technique for collapsing the trenches and pulls it to the top of Ruff's mind.
Yeah,
so
I was going to
Ruff
say, I
knows it.
think rather than me do it, I think I implant it into his conscious mind.
I think at that moment you basically see only this Ruff turn his head to where it would be. So the rest of the roughs are just firing down range or firing back up the trench. It is just this rough that looks for this.
So, Dan, what do you do? What is the technique?
I think he basically, so as I was saying, he was looking for essentially with trenches, it's sort of all held up by wood sort of thing, and like perhaps at certain waypoints, certain checkpoints, there would be either a tripwire that could be set up, or a set of explosives that could be set up, which could be pulled quickly to run and basically collapse the trench behind them, basically stopping anyone from advancing that way down, so they have a clean exit. I think that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and find that set of explosives and then trigger them.
Okay, trying to work out what skill this would be. I can see an argument for a few different ones, so you tell me what you think it is.
My for the first part, I would say discern.
It's about finding it.
It's about finding it. He knows it's there. He knows
it when
it
you see
exists.
it.
But he needs to find it, and then I guess possibly
It's still Warren. Warren is going to be the
Warren
domain
regardless, and then possibly kill or hunt, just because I have the mate more than anything. I guess the other one could be endure, because he's trying to set up an explosive in his own face to try and cover. I mean, granted, I won't have much to roll on that, but that's basically.
We'll potentially come to endure if this goes wrong.
Okay.
But I think your first instinct is right. I think this is going to be discern Warren.
Cool. All right, let's do
I'll
it.
happily lend a hand. I have discern.
And you've seen the memory as well, so it makes sense that you could help with this.
So I will, as you're looking, I'll kind of guide you in the right direction.
Well, good news. That's a 10.
Oh, shit!
It was a 2, 4, and then a 10 because of your help.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa.
We got
job,
below
Killian.
an 8 yet today.
No, not
Not
yet.
yet.
It's
They're
gonna
coming.
kick us in the ass.
It's all right.
So, Dan, instead of D4, you're going to do D6 stress to the
Nice.
delve, because this is a critical success.
That is a
And
5.
Okay, we're getting there. You tell us what this
Sorry.
looks like.
Basically, he as his head turns, he almost like drops to the ground, and again he waves off everyone. He like waves them back, and as he does, he basically starts tinkering with what looks like just like a small bed of grenades.
Oh.
And essentially he attaches something and then crawls back, gets on his feet, and then runs with it. And as he runs, he's basically pulling this wire which trips one of the grenades, sending them all off and collapsing the trench.
Very good.
And so all of you have to run
Yeah.
as the trench is collapsing and squeezing and closing behind you. And having used the ganglion and talked to the trench is actually helping. That intestinal squeeze is helping to push you all out and expel you from this network of trenches. And as everything's collapsing behind you, you see the bunker start to come into view. And if the trench is the guts, then the bunker is the stomach at the middle of it, of this whole network. A squat concrete structure with gun emplacements, slits with machine guns pointing outwards. Solid. Not solid in the way that Warzone Nasanov was. Not Warzone Nasanov was solid in terms of real. The bunker is solid simply in terms of squat, not going anywhere. Thick walls, safety, huddling. And as you emerge from the trenches in a gout of smoke and cement dust from the whole thing collapsing, you find yourselves at a checkpoint at the entrance to the bunker. There are 2 hounds on duty at the door, and one of them, a knoll, puts out a hand. She's carrying a carbine over her shoulder, and she puts out a hand and says, "Halt, halt." Who goes there?
Ruff Barkley, 33.
Number 33.
And he immediately shows his badge.
Yeah, she shows hers. She's got hers on a chain around her neck. She's number 284. And she says, you've got valuable intel. You need to go and see the captain.
Aye.
Captain's in the MASH.
These three are with me and they're staying with me, all right?
We're going to need to sign them in. Names, affiliations.
All right, let's do it quick.
Abelard, witches. Is that what you're looking for?
The other hound with her is diligently, who's a drow with a runny nose, is diligently writing this down on a small, like a little journalist's pad.
Killian Thistle of the Spire Thistles.
Spire Thistles.
Regina Mellifera, that's with 2 L's, and my own authority.
All right. We'll process your details. Stay with number 33, and you may enter, but do not enter any restricted areas.
Well, of course not.
Promise.
Ruff will stand and salute, which I think we agreed was basically a hand across the heart, I think, from before. So he basically will salute to the two hounds, and he'll basically put his arms around the group and start moving quite quickly.
Yeah, the Knoll salutes instantly, ramrod straight. The drow is a little slower off the mark, but still returns the salute. You usher the rest of the group in, and heavy doors close behind you and shut out the thuds of the bombardment outside. And all of you, this is the first chance that you've had since the collapse of Wardstone Nasanov, where you haven't been running for your life. You have a moment to catch your breath. You have a moment to think. All of you have goals that you're determinedly pursuing. Goals that if you don't fulfill them, your whole journey down here into this nightmare, dreamlike place will all be for nothing. So Melissa Thistle is perhaps a distraction, but you saw her destroy Wardstone Nasanov seemingly unintentionally without even trying, and if she can destroy the realest place in the heart without trying, she could destroy anything that you might need or anything you might build. So I leave it up to all of you what happens next.
Oh, I'd just like to pin Regina against a wall. You didn't tell me that you knew my sister.
You never asked.
You never told me.
Can I interject? Like, immediately. If that's okay. Ruff is going to grab Killian by the back of the neck and put him up against the wall.
It's like a chain. Abelard wonders if he should pin Ruff Barkley up against the wall and decides against it.
Basically, he'll push him against the wall and then he'll stop and he'll go, "You two, we always had a plan. When we got in trouble, we leave. We don't stand there gawping at the trouble. You almost got us killed back there."
Don't understand the first thing about what we saw down
clearly
there.
not.
Then
Who the fuck
maybe-
was that?
Well, that was my beloved sister. And apparently Regina's best mate
Well,
from
acquaintance.
school.
Acquaintance, at best, I think. It was a one-way street.
So excuse me, Ruff. Because you didn't have the first idea what you were looking at. So maybe before you accuse and you yell, you consider that we know better.
I've got to go write this up. You two sort this shit out.
Off with you then.
And he just goes. He proper storms. He is obviously not in a good frame of mind.
So the inside of the bunker it's more narrow corridors, but without that organic quality that the surrounding trenches had. These are solid, geometric, concrete corridors. This place has been built with thick walls to withstand whatever the heart can throw at it. And it seems like the place is on high alert. The hounds are connected in subtle ways. And so I think the remnants of the 33rd that stay here know that one of their number left somewhere in high retreat and are responding accordingly. So in various places there are whirling red lights, in various places there are blaring alarms. Everybody that you see here is wearing a numbered badge, and everyone you see here seems to be in a hurry. Places you can visit in the bunker include the MASH, which is where Ruff has been directed to go and find the captain. They may also have an intel division, collected files and dossiers on the various threats the Hounds have faced over the years. And there's also a memorial to the original 33rd Regiment at the heart of the bunker. And of course, just corridors, war rooms, ready rooms, locker rooms, mess halls, all the sorts of things that you'd find in a military institution.
Cool. He's heading directly to the MASH, but I actually just remembered something that I wanted to do. As he was dressing down Killian, I'd like to use my power No Sympathy, which is part of his stare down power, which is basically once per situation, my gaze functions as a mind/blood D6 ranged, which means it's basically as I give my allies a disapproving glance, which spurs them into action. So I'm going to use that to mend your blood stress.
Oh,
Thank you.
Love.
And I rolled a 4.
Well, that clears my blood stress.
amazing.
It's basically as he was dressing you down, he was looking you dead in the eye, and it was quite clear that it was like, you need to sort it out.
Yeah, I like the idea that Regina's like, going, yeah, you tell them, bruv, and you're just like, it's sort of a bro moment happening here that I am not a part of.
It's like a horrible, very much like veteran dad sort of move, but while also being like, look, you fucked up, but get better.
You gave me a Paddington hard stare.
Yeah. Basically. So I forgot to mention earlier, but he is heading straight to the MASH.
Great. So Ruff's heading to the MASH. Let's just get an idea of what everybody wants to do, and then we'll see what order we want to play these out in.
I will just announce to everyone that I'm going to go to the intel division, and then those who would like to come with me can.
Oh, great minds think alike.
I don't want to be a party pooper. I guess I'll also go to the intel. It might be fun.
Yes, I think that might be rather necessary,
Yes.
considering your lack of intel sharing.
Yeah.
You two were like busy mates last episode.
I know.
It's all turned.
Turns out. Yes, intel, I think, as well for Regina. So Ruff can have his little private one-on-one with the captain.
Great. So everyone's heading to hit the dossiers and hit the files, except for Ruff, who's going straight to the commanding officer. And Ruff, as you march down the corridors and you start to approach the MASH, you can hear the sound of the whine of dental drills and saws. You can hear the rasp of bone saws. You hear the clank of machinery. And there is the smell of blood from the MASH. To get in, you're barging through like hanging cloth strips rather than a full-on door. And as you enter, you find a low-ceilinged space lit with spire-black lamps hanging from the ceiling, with mirrors around them to direct the light. And the captain is lying on the operating table, head towards you, so you're seeing his face upside down. And there are sheets covering the rest of him, so that you're seeing his head emerging from a sheet which is hanging vertically, and there's more sheets than you would need to hide just a standard body.
Oh my
The
god.
captain, you can see his teeth are very shiny, and as you get closer, you see that his teeth are actually all bullet casings. And he's being operated on behind all the sheets by a hound doctor who is a drow midwife, has the lower body of a spider, who is using their various limbs to reach all around the room and perform strange and complex surgery. And as you walk in, the captain greets you jovially, says, 33, good old dependable 33. Come in, I'm just having a spot of field surgery.
He will stand and he will salute, but because he is the captain, he'll also bow his head.
Yeah, I'd return the salute, but I'm a little indisposed at the moment, number 33, but I understand you have a report.
Yeah, 3 words long. Nazanov has fallen.
I am gonna need a little bit more information than that, 33. What caused it? Who's the enemy? Who's the hostile?
Well, as I've just found out, the sister of one of my companions.
Oh, box fresh intel. I love it.
Love this man.
Yeah, he's great.
See, as he's talking every so often, he sort of squirms, or as the doctor does something behind the sheet.
I just have such vivid images of a gritty World War I drama crossed with the mind flare ships from Baldur's Gate. That's just all I'm thinking about.
That's pretty much what I'm seeing here as well.
Well then, 33, what's the threat assessment? You have the identity of the assailant. Obviously, the amount of damage they can clearly do is immense. What's your assessment of the situation?
More intel needed, but it appears as though she can turn things back to the void in like a black gooey substance. She herself fell into it.
Huh. Annoying. Be better to have a subject to interrogate or a sums. Do you have any sense of where she might have gone?
No, but I have a feeling I might know people that do.
That's good. So more intel needed, correct. Let's get some. And obviously write it all up. Make sure it's added to the records. And while you're... sorry. That was a tough one.
Sorry, take your time, Captain.
In fact, could you... There's a tray of things to bite down on over there, if you just wouldn't mind. Just bring me something.
He'll look, and then he'll look over at him and he'll just go, yes, this one will be the most comfortable. and he will actually hold it, he'll put it in his mouth and he'll hold it for him to bite down on.
Yeah, and you can see all of those bullet casing teeth, and now that you're closer, you can see that one of his eyes is a crosshair scope.
Oh my god.
He bites down through whatever the doctor is doing behind those sheets. You hear the clank of blades, and when it's over, he lets go of what he was biting down on and says, make sure you don't leave out the weaponizability potential, 33. We need anything that can help us in our efforts against the heart, gotta drive it back. And if it can render even something like Nasadov down to nothing, 33, this could be the break we need. This could be the weapon that could destroy the heart itself. Imagine it.
Unless it already is of the heart itself, sir.
Could be, but the heart's done stupider things in its time. This place doesn't make any sense, Barclay. Are you still going by Barclay?
I've never not gone by Barclay, sir.
Good. Consistency. Yes, the heart contradicts itself. I'm sure that one day something it makes will be its own undoing, and we'll be there, Barclay. We'll be there to turn that against it.
Sir.
Find a way, 33. If you can't find a way to harness it, find a way to destroy it. But turning it to our advantage, top priority. And
Aye, sir.
Top secret, 33. Keep this between us.
Aye, sir. Other than the civilians, I presume I need to interrogate to get the information I need.
Of course. Do what you need to do. Wink, wink. He winks the crosshair eye.
He's still holding the thing that he bit onto before, and he goes, "So, would you like me to leave this with you?"
Back on the table, yes. The doc will grab it if he needs to.
Understood. I'll be back shortly.
Very good, Barclay. Bring me something good.
He will salute again, and he will leave, putting the thing back on the table. But he basically he is on a warpath wherever he's walking. Like anyone that even gets in his way, he's basically just like jumping around them. Essentially, he's not being particularly rude and budging anyone, but he is obviously on a man on a mission at this point.
Great.
And he's going back to where he left the group.
Cool. Before we cut to the group and see what they were doing while that conversation was going on, do you feel like you've hit a beat in that situation?
I would understand he may be an NPC Bond.
Potentially.
But considering the fact that I'm now on a top secret mission, I would also argue that I've gained some authority within this faction.
I think that one feels right. You can only gain 1 beat per situation, so pick whichever one you feel like you've hit the hardest.
I think probably the gaining authority seems to be the one that's kind of like, because he can discern and say, I'm on a top secret mission now.
Exactly. So is that a major or a minor?
It is a major.
Great. So take a new major ability.
I will have a look.
While we're checking in about that, we can't leave achieving beats to the end of the session today because you won't get the benefits. So I'm going to check in regularly. Does anyone else feel like they've hit a beat yet?
Not yet.
Don't hope so.
All right. Keep them in mind. The Intel wing, the archives of the 33rd are down a level deep below the ground in the bunker. And in this poorly lit series of corridors and vaults, guttering spire black lamps, you find rows and rows of filing cabinets labeled with alphabetical labels and more esoteric runes and labeling systems. And sitting at the entrance to this vast vault of dossiers and information, sitting on a 2-legged stool, smoking a cheroot, you find an Elfir wearing a beret with a hound badge pinned to that beret, who greets you as you arrive. What is your business?
We're looking for a weapon. Information. Goo, black goo. The name Melissa Thistle.
There's much information about weapons down here. What is your authorization?
None. She's my sister.
This is not the parish records. This is not where you find information about your family, unless they were a member of the 33rd.
We're here as guests of 33 Ruff Barclay.
You see the Elfir's eyes go up like he's remembering something, and you can it's almost like you see him reading the note that the drow at the door scribbled down. Yes. You have invitation into the bunker. You do not have authorization for all of our secrets. I think you're going to need a roll to be allowed in here without Ruff.
Okay. What would you like this roll to be?
Depends on exactly how you're going to get through. If you just want to talk your way in and persuade this guy, it'll be compel. And it's going to be the bunker is, I believe, also Warren. So it's going to be compel and Warren.
I have compel, so I can help with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone has compel and Warren, I would suggest you do the roll.
That is me.
Okay, do the
Stand
roll,
aside.
maybe with Abelard's help.
Yeah, with help. Okay. Yeah. So I'll sort of go, excuse me, and I'll push forward and say, I think you'll find we have all the authority we need. We just only want to look at a couple of little teeny tiny little records and stuff.
Yeah, I think you were all part of this persuasion, so any help is very justified. So it's going to be 1 for trying, 1 for compel if you have it, 1 for Warren if you have it.
Yep.
And is anybody helping?
Yes, Abelard will say we are very trusted companions of Rough Park. We're basically honorary 33rd members at this point.
Frankly, he knows us.
Great, so add that 4th d10 for
All right.
Abelard's help. And what could you lose?
Ooh, what could I lose? Oh, well, so much status, respect within the group. I think ultimately getting probably it's going to be us thrown in something against
Chucked
our
in the
will.
brig.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go probably fortune fallout if this goes badly. Well, you're rolling 4d10. What could go wrong?
What?
Just make Ruff more gruff than normal.
Fiona. Oh, I don't love the face.
Right.
Oh.
I love that reaction.
So, I'll read them out in lowest to highest, just for tension. So, 1, 2,
Oh God.
2,
Oh God.
5.
Oh my god.
Wonderful. So, you fail and you take stress.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Oh, and I take stress as well because I help, don't I?
Both of you are going to take.
I love that Killian completely dodged that despite starting it. That was awesome.
There might be some blowback. We'll find out.
I mean, I was all down to who had the skills.
I'm not using any of you guys again.
You know, I'd done enough.
Regina and Abelard, please both mark 4 fortune stress.
Oh, that's a lot of stress.
And then I'm going to roll 2 d12s. Fiona, what's your current stress total?
Total? Oh, it's a 7.
Oh God.
Potential for major fallout. It's an 11. Sadly, you're safe.
Oh no.
And Maddy, what's
That
Abelard's
sentence.
total stress?
Also 7.
And
best of
potential
luck.
for major fallout. And that's a 10. Why can't I roll as low as
Sadly,
Fiona?
you're also safe.
Why can't I roll as low as
It's just
Fiona?
So there's no concrete outcome to this, but you are on thin ice, and also you failed, so you don't get the access that you want. So you fail, but you're not then thrown in the brig, whatever. You're just slowly eroding the goodwill of the people here.
Oh well, that's nothing to worry about. We do that everywhere we go.
Well, why don't we sit out? Do you have like a little waiting room that we could sit in? And
You can
wait
stay
for-
right here where I can keep my eye on you.
Seeing as they
I love
are
this
the
dude.
ones engaging in this directly, can I attempt to sneak in?
Absolutely, you can.
Just to push things further, you know, get us in a worse position.
The things that all of you do when Ruff's not here to supervise.
Yeah, we're like cats. HR
very-
on fire.
This will
what
be sneak plus Warren. And I will allow, if anybody else has sneak or Warren, I'll allow one of the other two to help because they are causing a distraction, whether intentionally or not.
I feel Warren I do have, because I don't know if Abelard has Warren.
I don't have Warren, but I do have Sneak.
So
I could cause a
either
distraction,
or
but I think
both of you
Abelard-
can help if you want. You can add even more dice as long as you're happy to take the stress.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're both helping, so
Yeah.
I theoretically have 3. I have 3, 2. I don't have either of those skills. I don't know why I'm attempting to do this. And then I go in for trying. So, but I get 3. Okay.
Great. What could go wrong?
Oh, you know, I do get thrown in the brig.
Just you.
But I'd love it to be mind stress. God.
Just get cussed out by this
would be-
Frenchman.
We can allow it to be mind stress if you take stress. It can be either being yelled at or simply the
Yes.
concentration and stress of trying to stay unseen.
Okay. That's a 7.
Okay. Let me check.
That is
Yes,
at a cost.
success at a cost. So you're gonna take stress, but you are actually going to succeed.
Yes.
Nice.
And
So
I wanted the stress, actually.
Oh, well,
Falling into your trap.
have all you can eat because I just rolled a 6.
You're gonna get a fallout and lose it immediately.
One of my beats is taking major mind fallout.
Oh, okay, major. Okay, that's fine.
That could have been us, Yeah, we just me and Alabard is just looking at it. Goes, that could have been us.
Yeah.
You two
In
take the
the-
stress as well.
Ow.
Because you
Oh,
had
that is us.
That is true.
What did you say? 6?
6 mind
Mind.
stress.
I now
no.
roll spells at a mastery.
Hey,
Oh,
well,
no.
unless. So, Zach, what's your stress total?
6?
You're going to take minor mind fallout.
Oh.
I'm sorry, it's going to clear your stress.
But I worked so hard for it.
There's an option here which I'll talk to you about in a minute when I've rolled for these other two. So, Fiona, what are you up to now?
So do you roll a d12?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bother. I've got 13.
So I also have 13.
Great. I still need to roll to see whether it's minor or major.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Regina,
Yes.
minor mind fallout.
Ooh.
Abelard, major mind fallout.
Oh.
Oh.
I had an idea of what I was trying to do to distract, which may affect the fallout, because I was trying to, because the guard was saying stay here where we can keep an eye on you. So Abelard's like, well, I'll just sit right here, and just sits right down on the guard's lap.
Love it. Zach,
Yes.
you've already got one minor mind fallout, right?
I have fascination. Yes, I
Yes.
do. Yeah.
When you take a minor fallout and you already have a minor fallout of the same type, you have the option of combining them into a major fallout.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you.
That sounds incredible.
Oh God.
So I think this probably needs to be like an escalation of the fascination that you already
Yes.
had. I'm going to see if there's something relevant in the book. And while I'm looking to see if there's a pre-written one, I love for people to discuss what they think Regina and Abelard's fallout should be as well.
So is there? Where do we find fallout in the book? Where's the?
It starts on page 80.
Page 80. I'm gonna look at that. Well, I love the idea that something really bad happens to Abelard for sitting on the
Yeah,
lap.
100%.
Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
like a mind infestation for sitting on the wrong lap or something. Collateral magic. Your panicked mind breaks for a second for sitting on a lap. That's very funny.
So that is a fun one. That means that you suddenly learn a destructive spell.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
that'd
mad.
be
Etheric Resonance is awesome. Etheric Scourge is great, but you just do loads of damage to yourself doing it.
I
great.
wonder.
Yeah, there isn't a pre-written one that's like an escalation of fascination,
Yeah.
but I think we can probably work something out that sort of is a similar thing but goes way beyond that.
I wonder.
For Killian, as like an escalation, I was looking at
Sorry, I missed
he's
that.
lost his sister now.
I think we're losing you.
Because it's from oh no.
Oh, yeah, you're back,
You-
Dan.
am I here?
You're back.
You're
back.
kind
Oh
of
yeah,
back.
good. Yeah.
Repeat again.
Sorry. So my thought process was despair for Killian, because the idea being that he was obsessed with his sister and he's now in a place where he can't access it properly.
Yeah,
Or
well,
something like that, and it's like that could be quite like, it's like, oh well, I'm never gonna find her. I'm never gonna find this out, sort of deal, which could be interesting.
I wonder if it's more addict, as in this is like
Yeah.
a compulsion.
Oh, that's
I'm-
also a good one.
Yeah,
like I'm
let's-
going to pursue this compulsively.
Yeah, let's rewrite addict to be less about substances and more about this search for information.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost like the need to solve this mystery is having physical effects on you now. It's making you shaky when you're not pursuing it properly. Minor mind fallout for Regina.
That's me.
I mean, some of these just describe how you act normally.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Creepy. No.
Yes. I did, because this is page 18.
Yeah, so
yes.
I think what I'm going to give Regina is minor mind fallout weird.
What about in the game?
So you do something unsettling that bothers normal people, and the salient point of this is it probably puts a useful NPC off you and your allies.
Oh no, okay.
So that's the real concrete effect of this. So you can decide. I think this needs to be an escalation of Regina's existing weird behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do something that puts this hound off so badly that there's no chance that they will help you now.
So I guess then, getting infuriated that I'm being ignored, and my request seemed quite pleasant, and just, again, that whole sort of belief that she has that she is actually at the center of this universe, and is planning to do. The bees start to buzz quite loudly and start to go over her face, tearing up little bits of the wax paper, revealing even more of the honeycomb, maybe across the eye itself, which falls away from being a glass eye to just one of pure honeycomb and void, essentially.
Just letting the mask slip and just not attempting to seem human with quite as much fervor as before.
I don't think you understand. We need to get into your archives. It's very, very important.
Step back, madame, step back.
I'm just having a conversation.
Maddie, is there a major mind fallout that you like the look of, or would you like us to pick one for you?
Please do pick one for me. I don't have it in front of me right now, so yeah, I'm happy to be surprised.
Right. I think a fun and interesting one is memory holes. You've done things that you can't quite recall. And I think this might relate to, we were talking last time about whether and how often your companions have seen you become your true form. So I wonder whether they've witnessed you do things in your true form that you don't remember.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
That works for me.
So
Sounds good.
the other three of you, feel free to just at any point improv something that you've seen Abelard do that Abelard's not aware of.
Sure.
That time you did all that chanting.
That time you did all those hard drugs while you're in horror form.
Yeah.
It's very difficult with like the vacant nasal cavity.
Yeah.
So the situation we find ourselves in is Abelard and Regina being barred from the archives by this increasingly hostile Elfir hound, and Killian, who despite taking all that stress did actually succeed that role, in the confusion slipping into the archives. What are you looking for, Killian?
I want to see if there is. I'm looking for any record of specifically my sister, and like, because something's happened, right? And this is an archive of anything any hound has come across. There has to be some record of something like what is happening to my sister, or what has happened to my sister.
Great. I think this is going to be a discern. Discern cursed, because this is about your sister now.
Okay, I don't have cursed. I do have discern,
Great.
so that's 2.
I don't think anybody can help you with this because you're in these archives by yourself.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you now, you are going to find the information that you're looking for. So bearing that in mind, even on a fail, you'll find it. So what could you lose still?
I think I could lose my mind. I think the information that I see and I find will push me even further into this horrific addiction that I've grown towards my sister, and this compulsion I have to destroy her and everyone. Yeah, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you're rolling 2d10, correct?
I am. I rolled a 2 And a 10.
Sometimes, guys, sometimes the dice tell a story. Sometimes obsession gets results. There's something about just how important this has become to Killian in such a short time, and just how focused his mind is on it. A mind, by the way, that is linked in lots of ways to sources of immense forgotten power. That when Killian enters these archives, he unerringly, not even looking at the filing system, not even looking at the alphabetization or the other esoteric cataloging, goes to the right file.
I feel like I'm just running my finger along these files, like almost feeling the energy of them as I go along them.
What does the right one feel like?
In the worst way possible, it feels like home.
Killian, you pull open a filing cabinet drawer and you dip into that drawer and you pull out a slim folder. It's not a lot of intel, but there is something. And it's not on your sister specifically. Her name is nowhere in here. You find a collection of vague field reports that have been collected under a name that the hounds have given this threat.
Okay.
And that name is the Want Not.
Okay.
There are rough sketches that look similar to the phenomena that you saw when you met your sister. The black sludge, the missing heart, the incoherent babbling about missing something and not wanting things. And there's speculation from Hound Intelligence in this file about the nature of the city beneath is that the heart itself, whatever it is, seems to want to give the people who come down here what they want. It doesn't understand people, and it doesn't understand desire or reality, and it often gets it wrong and grants people's desires in the worst possible ways. And the speculation in this file is about what would happen, what happens when people come down into the heart with a desire for a negative. People who desire something to be not, or simply do not want. How does the heart twist that?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Shit. So she now has the ability to unmake.
Yes, not simply to return things to the raw unreality of the heart, but to make things nothing.
Shit. Okay. Does it give me any indication of like a place or a hub or a heart for these want nots, a place where they might be found?
On a 10 success, I think it better. And I'm going to leave it to you on that success what those directions are and what that place is. Whether it's a place that you're already aware of or somewhere completely new.
I think wherever it is, I'd like it to be a place that, like, it's different for each one. Like, they each have a different place that they go to, but it's always as they're living in this constant cycle of, like, the familiar, the things they loved, the things they enjoyed being made and unmade, made and unmade forever. And they have to live in this horrific cycle in between when they are able to leave.
And the last thing I'll give you on that full success that critical success, is there are attempts at strategies in this file, and they're not fully formed, but they're something you could potentially build on. I think the words that you latch onto are find the heart, ?
Okay.
Replace the heart, ?
Oh, shit. Okay.
And on that, oh shit, I think it's about time we took our break.
Yeah. Well played.
We will see you back here very shortly. Don't go far. Refresh your coffees, refresh your refreshments, do whatever you need to do, and we'll see you back here, still on Actual Play UK, still in Heart the City Beneath, in 10 or 15 minutes' time. Can't wait. See you there.
Bye.
Hey.
It's like, welcome back to Actual Play UK. Welcome back to Heart the City Beneath. Did anybody, just before we went for our break, did anybody achieve any beats in those recent scenes? Yeah. What beat did you hit, Zack?
I took major mind fallout.
Yes, you sure did. And have you picked a new major ability for hitting that beat?
I took Kiss of the Drowned Queen, so I may now summon salt water in the lungs of those who I wish to hurt.
Oh dear. Killian got more dangerous. Dangerous knowledge and dangerous abilities.
Adds up.
Yes.
Yeah.
We left Killian deep in the archives, unseen, looking at this dossier, learning new information about what's happened to Melissa. We left Regina and Abelard facing off with the intel officer in charge of this area, who was telling them both to back off, weirded out by Regina seeming even less human, her face breaking apart into honeycomb and bees crawling everywhere. And we left Ruff on the way back to where he left his companions. So, Ruff, let's have you arrive in this scene and go from there.
Okay. So I think Ruff will go back to where he left the guys originally, which was not in the archives. But he will he'll think about it. He'll go, they're probably gone there, because where else would they go? And essentially on the way, could he pass the memorial, Matt?
Yeah, I think the others probably passed the memorial on their way, but just didn't pay it too much attention.
He'd probably stop and look at what is currently on there, because I imagine it gets updated.
So it's
from the original, right?
So here at the heart of the bunker is a memorial to the original 33rd Regiment. So there were 900 soldiers were sent down into the heart by a mad warrior poet of Spire, thinking that this was a solution to what was going on down here. They fought heroic, tragic, losing action against the forces of the heart. 300 holed up here in the bunker to try to save what was left. Whatever they did here. This is both the memorial to the fallen and the altar on which the ritual took place that invested the 300 hound badges with the power that they now carry. And so this is a stone altar carved with the names and numbers of the original 900 members of the 33rd Regiment. And also piled up on this altar are trophies and offerings and things along those lines. There is the first shell casing of the very first bullet ever fired in the conflict. There is a renowned legendary rifle that used to belong to one of the lieutenants of the 33rd. There are these sort of treasures and trophies piled up on this altar. But what's Ruff looking for here?
Ruff is going to scan through the numbers, and can he remember what number Shepard was?
Yeah, Shepard was 89.
He's going to look for 89 and see what name is attached to it.
It's Shepard.
So it is. So she recognizes by the same name.
That was the name on her badge, and that was the name she was going by. You don't know whether that woman wearing that badge always went by Shepherd.
Yeah,
you don't know whether that was the name she had before she picked up the badge, but that's what she goes by now.
And he will look at his own number because the name on his badge is scratched out. So he will look at his own number, and I don't think he sees a name. I think he just sees the number 33 and then a blank space where a name is supposed to be.
And as you do this, you remember you've been to the bunker before many times. You remember doing this exact same thing. It feels like a surprise to you. You look at the 33 and you don't see a name there, and that's a surprise. But then you remember the same surprise again and again and again, unearthed by what Killian did to you in the trench. And so without even a roll, Ruff, please take 5 mind stress.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Sweet.
I wish I could have that.
11 for you.
11. Great. That's a 4, so you're going to take some minor mind fallout and clear all of your mind stress.
Hooray.
Without putting a name necessarily on the exact fallout, what do you feel like would be the consequence of this for Ruff?
I think he's almost going to become, he's confused by it big time, because how can he remember doing this? And he's trying to find the place where the original holder died. How is he supposed to do that if there's no name? He's now more, there's a massive amount of confusion going on, and the fact that he remembers doing this repeatedly doesn't help.
I think that it's the repeatedness that is what this fallout is going to crystallize into. So I feel free to give this whatever name you want. Probably something like reflections or deja vu, perhaps.
I like deja vu.
When it feels appropriate, actions are, if you do an action that is something that might trigger one of these flashes back into the many layers of memory that Ruff seems to be accessing. So if you do something that's sort of Hound typical, it's going to be risky, as your vision is overlaid by the many times that you did it before.
Cool. He's gonna shake his head and head to the archives, at pace.
And in the corridor leading to the Intel archives, you find Regina and Abelard being held at bay by a hound that you know as Frenchie, wearing a beret with a badge on it, standing there going, "Stay back, madame."
Right, Frenchie.
Corral your guests, 33.
There weren't any seats apart from the one right there, and he was wanting us to wait, and I need to sit down for my bunions, you see.
Sorry, Frenchie. It appears that they don't understand stay where I leave them. Where's Killian?
I think in an instant you see Killian behind Frenchie.
As he does, he actually jumps up and reacts and puts his arm round Frenchie and pulls him to one side so he doesn't see Killian.
I'm unbothered by that, and I just walk ahead and I say, "We need to leave now. I know where we're going next."
Oh, well, how delightful.
Out of his inside pocket, he'll hand Frenchie a cigar, like an actually really nice cigar that he keeps on him. And be like, "Sorry about my lot."
Was this? Apology accepted.
Before I run after him, do you know where my file is?
Your file?
33's file.
Oh, would you like me to show you?
As quick as you like, Frenchie, mate.
Frenchie leads you into the file vault and gestures at not a file cabinet, but a row of file cabinets, all labeled 33.
He's gonna open up, but he's gonna take a selection and basically open up and look for names. Does he find any names attached to 33?
Yeah. Yours. All the way back through the many, many years, decades, centuries, all the way back to the original 33rd, the name attached to 33 is Ruff Barkley.
He puts it back, he sort of shakes his head and he goes, he pulls out the first one and he goes, Frenchie, read that. Does it say Ruff Barkley? Does it say where he died?
It says Ruff Barkley, yes. There is no record of death.
How?
Service record. This whole corridor is the service record. Is long service. There's no death. The death ends the service. There is no death, so the service continues.
Are you quite finished with your existential crisis? It's time to go.
He'll put the folder back. He'll shake Frenchie's hand. Once more onto the breach then, mate.
Once more onto the breach, and he lights the cigar.
and he leaves. He leaves at pace. he pretty much grabs like Regina and Avalon by the scruff of the neck and just goes, right, we're leaving. like again, it's not like forcefully horrible. It's just like, you guys have pissed me off because you've done something you shouldn't have done. It's just like, I will deal with you later, but we're obviously in a hurry now.
All right. Jeez.
I will definitely sort of try and squeeze out of Ruff's grip. just, and I go after Killian as like a Killy.
What?
We have. I don't think we finished, and I'll keep pace with you as we sort of walk. And it's like, look, okay, so maybe I did know Melly a little bit. She wrote me a very cute little note. So sweet. I thought maybe you'd want to know. She was, she was trying to help me in finding what I was looking for down in the heart. And, she found some work, some sort of, I think his name was Gerhardt. Her writing's so terrible, you know. Gerhardt said the reason it might be sort of messed up in the heart is because the heart gives things that you want, you know. So obviously if you go down, say if you want to establish your own college of fashion, then it will try and do that. So apparently the words were go in and want for nothing, don't want anything, and that's how you attain it. I just thought you seemed to be quite clued up. I didn't want you to go in without any information, and that is mine.
So apparently, Melissa is what these fine ruffians call a want-not, someone who has a negative desire in
She
the
doesn't
heart.
want it. Well, she doesn't want anything.
Doesn't
so.
want or wants for something to be undone, and so is given the power to undo.
Well, that is unfortunate. And you can see Regina then eats her letter to go back into herself for safety. Well, admittedly, I might have encouraged this behaviour, so I owe it to you, Killy, that I will see this through, and let's make sure we can get Melly back to her good old self.
Yes. Good self.
Sure.
Abelard, are you coming?
Yeah, as long as we're going deeper into the heart, I'm all for it. Just want to get there.
Good. Now we're done talking.
I'm just gonna say it. I feel there's like a little bad vibe between us. Look, I don't take it personally, but I'm just gonna say it out loud because if I don't say it, then obviously this sort of stuff festers. So I just wanted to just make sure that we're good. We're good, aren't we, Killy? That's me.
Regina, if you help me kill my sister, it will be great.
Sounds like a plan. Lead on.
I would like to go to the place in the heart where I think Melissa would be most at home.
Interesting. Would she... She seemed confused and was... definitely didn't want to be where she was when you saw her. But there was no drive to be somewhere specific. There was only the drive to not be in the place that she was. Do you think she would try to go somewhere she felt at home, knowing or having that vague understanding that being there would probably destroy it?
Yes, I think it's a compulsion. It's like, it's almost like what I have.
Yeah.
I think she is, I think she's gone there almost subliminally, like subconsciously. I think she's drawn there from her fear and her confusion. She wants something she knows, something she's familiar with. And in going there, in following that urge, she destroys that very thing.
There's a couple of places that could describe. One, it's said that the heart contains everything it has ever contained and everything it ever will contain. And if that theory is true, then the college that Regina is trying to establish already exists somewhere, even though she hasn't established it yet.
If it helps, the final line of the letter says, "Don't open the fashion school without me." So
if that's the case, maybe he's found that and would be drawn to that place. The other option, there's one place here in the city beneath that feels like home to everyone, and that's the heart itself, the deepest, most central part of the city. Its very potentially literal beating heart. The place that... This is the reason that you need to be very intentional in the city beneath about where you're trying to get to when you leave a landmark. Because if you leave with no destination in mind, you'll be drawn down deep, the heart itself.
I don't know what you all think. I reckon we might be going to the heart.
let's do it.
Well, that's what Abelard wants, so that works for me.
And me.
Ruff is going to grab the tap on the shoulder of the nearest hound, just as they're leaving the bunker. And he'll say, can you deliver a message to the captain?
Right, you are, yeah.
33 is going nowhere. We're gonna go get the whatnot back.
Right, you are.
And he'll salute and he'll go, looks like we're heading nowhere, boys and girls.
To the heart it is.
All right.
Get in, losers. We're going to the heart.
Also, Matt, can I be a bit of a pain and say that Frenchie is now an NPC bond?
Absolutely.
Yay! Taking a minor beat then.
bonds is a sort of an interesting mechanic to use in a one shot, because it kind of means if you go back and have conversations with Frenchie, he can relieve stress for you. But yeah, he potentially has useful information. He's provided useful information even though he didn't want to. So yes, you can say that, and as we're leaving the bunker, you can achieve that beat.
Sweet.
Does anyone else feel like they've hit a beat as we're on the way out?
I wonder. Just go and look at it.
I don't believe so for me.
Not yet.
But I have something that I can do to help us on our climactic delve once people are done with this.
So I would say attract a protege who has read your work and is determined to learn more. I guess melee to an extent, if I just shoehorn that in.
I think there's sort of the realization and the revelation that might be part of what she's doing can certainly count for that.
I'll take that as a major beat for me, so I will take it.
And so, for any other delve, for any other journey, there would be a ritual. There would be some particular way you need to leave, some particular way you need to robe yourself, or you need to walk backwards, or walk through water, or fall off something to begin the delve. For a delve to the heart itself, there's no special ritual. You just simply start the journey and allow yourself to follow its pull, which you're always subconsciously feeling.
I have something that might help. And Abelard pulls a mirror out of his cloak, and they also take out a very sort of rusty knife and slashes it across their palm, drips the blood onto the mirror, and I am using my Crimson Mirror major ability, which I gained last session. So I need to roll Discern plus Occult to cast this spell before I embark on a delve. On a success, you see 3 omens. Describe them. You don't have to be too specific. In fact, the more vague you are, the better. These are fated to come up on the delve. The first time you interact with whatever you find that relates to each omen, you roll with mastery.
What could you lose? So you're making a roll here. There's got to be stakes.
I feel like trying to predict what's going to happen on the journey to the heart is not good for the brain.
I feel like this is... we haven't played too much with Echo yet. I would like this to be Echo stress, because you are tapping into the heart's own energies here.
Yeah, that works for me.
Great. Do you have the skill in the domain?
I believe so. Yes, I do. I have both Discern and Occult.
Lovely. So that'll be a 3d10.
Nice. Ooh, that's a 10.
Whoa!
Out now.
We're rolling really well.
Right?
Yeah.
It's worrying.
If anything, it's when
It
we
should be comforting, but it's not.
It's when we heck around with NPCs where it just all goes to absolute rubbish, and then
Interpersonal skills.
Yeah, that's what we lack.
So, give me the wording of that spell again. Does that mean that does that take stress off the delve from you doing that?
It's merely that I see 3 omens and
Right.
describe them, and if they come up, then the first time I interact with whatever I find, I roll with mastery.
Amazing. Okay, well, I think because you've got a critical success there, feel free to ignore the need for them to be vague. And if you want to make them good things that would help you, feel free to do that. What does Abelard see in the mirror?
Ooh. I think... really struggling to think of what possibly could happen in this extremely
wanna throw
climactic moment.
Do you want to throw it open to the floor? Anyone else got any thoughts?
If anyone's got any ideas.
So what are we seeing? What's the...
Omens of
omens.
things that will come to pass on your delve to the heart itself. Which you can feel free to make helpful because it was a crit.
I mean, feel free to say no, guys, but I do think the fashion school is very important. I feel like at certain points we go through, we've talked about these undulating sort of tunnels and sort of veiny things, but maybe it gives away sometimes to like almost like walk-in wardrobes. But all the like outfits are still connected to the. It's basically the walls of making these outfits are horrible sort of. We're back in the meat dimension. All this meat and flesh sort of like outfits, like dresses with pockets, obviously, and shoes and stuff that are just around this idea of like her putting on stuff for the heart. Like it's still there, but the heart has completely twisted it macabre. So maybe something like that in terms of like almost like goes from a walk-in closet out to a runway type thing at various points.
Yeah, that's very cool. Full Lady Gaga outfits.
Yes, it is 100% Lady Gaga.
I wonder if maybe in that place is somewhere like a closet or something where we can gather resources or something like that.
Ooh,
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
That is a good shout.
No, that's a very good point because one of my beats is finding a renowned piece of equipment. So maybe I foresee finding something really hefty and useful.
I hope it's a hat. Oh, okay.
One for more for rough, I suppose, could be that you see hundreds of him finding a bolt hole. Something that he's created in the past, and like all the different versions of him that have been there before, and that's where he's hidden stuff. So like equipment for the delve or something like that, or things that he knows he's going to need because he's failed at this before.
Gosh.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very
One more?
happy to go with those. I
I think
think
go for it. Yeah.
Was that 3?
that's
No, I'm
3,
asking.
yeah.
2.
That was 2.
Oh, well, we've got the wardrobes. We've got the closet. Is the closet part of the wardrobe?
I was thinking it was part of it, but it can
I thought
be.
it was, but yeah.
Let it be separate. That
Yeah.
makes it better.
It can be a separate thing.
Yeah.
One thing can be two things.
Yeah.
It is that montage where people come in with outfits and they go, no. And they come out,
Like
Yes.
sitcom style.
yeah,
Yeah.
proper like, no, go back in. And then
I need there to be like a chunky computer with the outfit program from Clueless on it, where you
100%. Yep.
swipe to see the different outfit combinations. Ugh, that's all meat.
It's all me.
The computer's made of meat.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask, how long were we in bunker in time?
Time's a bit odd down here.
Yeah.
Not long.
The only reason why I ask is because I have a major ability called forewarned and forearmed, which is basically when you have an hour or two spare in a landmark, and I technically didn't, I suppose. So I basically gain one of the benefits on there, which is like blood protection, mine protection, supplies protection, things like that. And
We
technically
can give
all
you
of us
that.
could.
We've only got this session left.
Yeah.
Use your
Yeah,
abilities.
take it.
Basically, technically, all of us get the same benefit because we all would have done it together, or would have been together while he was preparing.
This can have been happening while Regina and Killian were having their argument.
Yeah. So in that case, I think everyone is going to gain +1 blood protection from Rough getting them all very much forewarned and forearmed for this.
So that means if you take blood stress, you take 1 less.
Nice.
And sorry, carry on with that. I'm just
Sorry,
gonna
we-
read something on my sheet.
Just jumping in there. Sorry about that.
No, by all means. You're about to go into pretty dangerous territory, so use whatever advantages you can get.
I guess unhelpfully. You know what? No, I was gonna use my ambulation just to be bees for the rest of this walk, but actually, it sounds like it might be important, so I won't do that.
It would let you refresh some stress.
But I like having stress. This is fun. So no, I will. No, you know what? We're showing off this system. Yeah. So basically, after a while, if you're talking to Regina, she just doesn't really respond. And then if you go to talk to her, she's like, We's are busy. As the bees have just taken her over on autopilot as she just gets in some 40 winks. So
You all
the bees are
recognize
taking
this. Yeah, you recognize this as what Flora was doing last session. Poor dear departed Flora, who we abandoned at Wardstone Nasanov.
The bees have taken over and also decided to become Jar Jar Binks.
yes. I didn't say the most charismatic of bees.
I think Killian is going to approach Ruff and just say, "Do you mind if I take your liquor?"
He will dip into his haversack and actually pull out a second, because he has more than one, because of course he does. He will just hand him. No, I actually know, I know what you're talking about. I'm actually here with it. He will give you his rot gut liquor. Yes.
And I think you see Killian distend his jaw and insert the bottle down his throat, and you see a glow come up as he destroys a resource with the Haven domain to gain blood protection.
Ruff will go, "Most people just drink it." But
Where's the fun in that?
He'll pull out his hip flask and goes, "Cheers anyway." So he'll just drink his own and just put it back in his...
The bees say, "I only rolled a 1 on the removing stress. That's super annoying." Never mind.
He's so upset.
Rolling a 1, what is this nonsense the bees speak of?
We're working too hard.
Sorry, I actually misread the ability. I'm gonna not have done that and do that later.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
I'm gonna take the liquor.
Yeah.
Because
You put it into
it's to
safekeeping.
remove stress. I thought it was for protection. Excuse me.
Still a great moment.
Thank you. Yes, I just really wanted that.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a cool moment.
You just put it in your body.
I
in a
save
sort
it
of
for
pocket.
later.
Yeah.
I keep it in my cheek pouch.
Any further preparations before this delve?
Not for
Don't
me.
think so.
No.
So the journey begins. You set out from the bunker with no particular destination in mind, although Killian's mind is very much on the person he's trying to get to. And as you all take a simultaneous step, you're no longer in the concrete bunker. The smoke, the ash, the thuds of debris are gone immediately as you take a squishing step. All throughout your time in the heart so far, things have had an organic quality sometimes. The trench had an intestinal sort of feel and behaviour. There have been other elements that have felt a little bodily, but it's always been slightly below the surface. Now all of that is raw, red and bloody. You step into a prototype. You step into a space that feels like maybe this is what parts of the city beneath look like before the heart itself is done making them. When it's still interpreting its denizens' desires and shaping them, but isn't ready to show them just yet.
It's like the Heart's workshop.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Shaped by the desires of its denizens, and whose desires would this space be shaped by other than the four of you, the people who are on this journey? And you step first into a space that to Killian is familiar and yet not familiar. Zack, what did the space where that dinner party took place look like?
I think it's everything you'd imagine from like almost Gilded Age style, these enormous dining spaces, long tables, wax candles dripping down. It's almost like this place has been left. Like, this is my memory of the place in the aftermath, and no one's left, and the candles have dripped down. Wax is dripping into the food, onto pigs and other various carcasses dolled up for food, and vegetables dressed in odd-looking herbs.
Yours and Melissa's chairs are overturned from the argument, and one of your family members is rushing to save a candelabra that is falling onto the tablecloth in the aftermath of your embarrassment. And it's the memory as you remember it, frozen, but rendered in flesh. So the chairs are not wood, the table is not wood, the table is flesh, the legs are bone. The candles are not candles, they're not wax, they are fingers. The walls seep, and the candelabras in the chandeliers drip. We're on a delve. This is a cursed delve. That's going to be the domain for this one. It's going to be resistance 12. And it's going to be risky.
No.
Who'd like to start us off making progress?
I would like to take my hungry knife and cut through my sister into the next space.
There is a meat replica of your sister here. This feels like kill.
Yeah, that does,
Right?
doesn't it? I've got that one.
Yeah, kill cursed.
Kill cursed. I don't have cursed. Does anyone want to help me? It's okay if you say no, because it's pretty fucked up what I'm doing.
I don't have those skills, unfortunately.
I don't either.
Okay.
Ruff will help
Okay.
because Ruff knows where. Ruff has a feeling he kind of knows where he is, and he also knows that everything here doesn't deserve to be here. So this is just another enemy to him.
Let me do them in ascending order.
Remembering that this is risky, so you're losing the top one.
Hey, that's fine. 6,
Yeah.
8, 10.
Oh,
Very nice.
Wow.
I got worried there.
Strong work. Roll your d4 to deal some stress to the delve.
3.
Very nice work. Strong progress from the off. Killian is determined. Eyes on the prize and will not stop moving. Point of the blade out in front of him. Zack, you take over. How does this look as you
It's
successfully make progress?
horrific, but it's this like I'm slashing, I'm cutting, I'm ripping through meat, almost like it's that idea of like we've come across this. It's almost like a barrier. There's no way out of here. So I decide, well, I can't go around it. I can't go under it. I can't go over it. I'm going to go through it. And I just carve my way through. And you see this like predatory hunger in Killian's eyes as he forces his way through and carves a hole through the meat and forward on our journey.
You'll follow Killian through the aperture that he's created and into a new space, similarly rendered in flesh. This time, familiar and yet not familiar to Regina.
My ears, if I had any, would be burning.
The schoolroom where you made your resolution that you would show them all that you were better than them. Melissa was there again.
Yeah.
What did this schoolroom look like? Who else was there? What's the scene that the heart has plucked from your memory and rendered in flesh here?
I think the main hall, which is almost like a circle, basically, with a... Oh, she likes stage. Why don't I have a stage? There maybe wasn't a stage in the original, but there is one now. And each of the sort of seating is sort of tiered on several levels, going up, 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 and up. Very much like the Globe Theatre, I think. And maybe a moment where, yeah, let's go for it. There's a lectern, and so she's giving her speech to like saying, "I hate you. You're nothing. You." It just to an audience that is not that well maybe was there with teachers before being maybe unkindly wrangled away and shown the exit through force.
And the Regina figure specifically, everything else is designed and created in marbled flesh, in blood, in bone. The Regina figure is rendered in the heart's attempt at honeycomb, but it doesn't have honey or paper to work with. It's got tendon and thin stretched flesh. It's tried a few bees. It's not done very well. They've got far too many bones.
Oh.
Well, I say top marks for effort.
And once again, there is a Melissa figure. And you see, it was almost too fast to notice in the first chamber as Killian dove straight for the figure and drove his knife through. But the Melissa that the heart has placed in this scene is blacker. The flesh seems corrupt, rotten.
I guess Regina will sort of sidle up and be like, "You were always the black to my yellow. So sad, sorrows, prayers." And I just basically put my hand on the face and just have the bees just swarm out and disintegrate it. Maybe taking some bits back to sort of, I don't know, just have it as in the tote bag of my heart and just keep it just in case I need it later.
This is an ability you have with a very scary name, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Sorry, I was reading it. I was like, that sounds amazing. Yes. So I think this is. Are you referring to the unorthodox methods, or are you
I'm referring to annihilation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, silly me. That's at the bottom. Yeah, annihilation. So there you go. Your body is unheart. It burns through the parasitic world of meat and bone. Oh, that does make more sense now that I read about it. So against heart-blooded people or creatures, your touch functions as a kill 8d8 weapon. If you use it, your flesh roils and cracks, but the swarm repairs it as quickly as it is unmade. Your opponent does not have that luxury against any other target. It functions as a d6 weapon. So yes, I will just I'll just unmake that.
This is going to be the d8 version of that. This isn't strictly a heart's blood beast or creature, but this is definitely heart's blood that we're dealing with here.
Yes, I'll just remove this from the scene. I don't think anyone wants it here. I do like a Photoshop animate out sort of thing going on here.
So I'd like a kill cursed, and you can use the d8 from annihilation instead of the d4 if you succeed.
Oh, okay.
What about if you don't succeed, though? What have you got to lose here?
Oh, well, I just put my hand, Matt, on a thing that's got, you described it as a bit darker flesh, so I think it's gonna suck me in like like the idiot that I am.
Yeah, it might be blood, it might be echo. We'll figure it out if you take stress.
May I give you help?
Sure. So what was the roll, Matt, again? Sorry, it was.
It's going to be kill cursed.
Cool.
So if you've got kill or cursed, you can help.
I do not have either of those, so I'll take some help if possible.
Ruff will also help. Because Ruff just wants to get through this.
Give me that stress.
All right, I've got
So much potential stress.
Yeah.
I'm
I've got this
sure
image
it's
of Ruff
fine.
and Killian both just grabbing this thing by the back of the head and just shoving it into
Shoving it
Regina's
in, yeah,
hand.
quick.
Like just
The
full
wood
on,
chipper
like-
of the wood chipper of the palm. Okay, I'm gonna go in ascending order.
Oh, God.
And again, drop
Is it
the top one.
God damn it! I mean, wonder what that one. So I rolled a 2,
Uh-huh.
a 5, and a
Oh.
10.
Oh no! We lose the 10. The 5 is a fail. You don't deal any stress to the delve,
So good.
and you're going to take. I'm going to make this blood stress. We actually haven't had a lot of basic blood stress yet.
Yep. Yeah. So that is. Are you
Oh.
rolling that or am I rolling? Oh, you're rolling.
I'm rolling it. I'm rolling a big die, but I only rolled a little number. So everybody who was involved in that roll takes 2 blood stress,
I
reduced
think-
by any protection that you have.
I think we all only take 1 because of
Yeah,
Nice.
correct.
Ruff's protection.
Yeah.
Takes me a super long time.
And presumably that wipes out that 1. That's a
Nope.
one-time.
No, you keep that.
Ongoing.
You keep that.
You keep it for
Pro.
this
Very
for this
good.
delve.
Wow.
I waste time. I don't contribute to the delve at all. I'll just take my time in like remolding this image, even though it absolutely matters not.
Yeah. So you all only take 1 stress, but that still means we roll for fallout. So Fiona, what's your total stress,
Oh,
please?
it's 7.
That's a 5. So you're going to get some minor blood fallout.
Oh, wow.
Dan,
Also 7.
that's a 5. You're also going to take minor blood fallout. And Zack,
1.
just the 1. So yeah, you're safe. I rolled a 3. Your stress keeps building up. So Fiona and Dan, wipe out your blood stress.
Done.
Clear that track. Regina, you're the one who was actually touching. Well, you said you were both. You both had hands on, right?
I want to say we all got involved. Was the idea?
Yeah.
Everyone in.
Your hands are burned. It's Regina's deep apiarist power is trying to annihilate this thing. It's trying to be like the antimatter to its matter, or probably the other way around. There is a volatile reaction happening. You don't manage to burn through in any way that helps your progress on the delve, and anywhere that either of you were touching that effigy of Melissa, your hands are burned, smoking. You can't hold anything in that hand, and anything that's going to require manual dexterity is going to be risky or dangerous if it was risky already.
Oh,
So this is
no.
minor blood fallout, burned hand.
I feel. Regina doesn't really have any weapons, but I feel that's kind of bad for our hound. Oopsie.
Surprisingly not so bad.
He mostly does
doopsie.
things with his eyes.
He mostly
That's
looks
true.
at things.
That is true.
And on that failure, as you are trying to unmake this effigy of Melly, the space around you is remade. And it changes from an image of the school that you remember, the school that you rejected, that you left, where they didn't appreciate you, and morphs, cracking bone, tearing sinew as the heart remakes this space into a space you've only seen in your imagination, Regina. An approximation of the college that you will one day set up, that you're determined to one day set up, and you find yourselves in a seemingly endless corridor lined on both sides with resplendent, fashionable outfits rendered in offal.
Oh, Matt!
As the first of Abelard's visions comes to pass.
Well, I like what it's done with the place. Shall we?
I think seeing that this first vision has come to pass, Abelard will try to kind of peer between the awful clothes to see if there's a hidden cupboard with something useful. And I assume that would be discern.
It'll be discern, cursed, and this won't be risky. because you saw this in a vision.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. I don't have cursed, but I do have discern. So I've got.
So you got 2d10.
That is 8.
8 is a full success.
Whee.
You don't take any stress. Roll a d4 first of all.
4.
Heck yeah. That takes you over halfway to the heart itself.
Nice.
And Maddy, tell us what Abelard finds.
Ooh. I think what Abelard finds is a broomstick with the most gnarled, hideous, old, sort of worm-eaten wood, and there is a curious kind of clasp on it, and when Abelard undoes it, the broom also becomes a sword.
Very good.
Boss.
Very
Absolutely
good.
incredible.
Very cool.
Yeah. The sword is going to have a pretty decent kill die to it. And I'm going to take a wild guess that the broom might be magical in some way.
I would certainly hope so.
in ways that you can feel free to define.
Nice, excellent. I would love it if it just let me fly,
Uh-huh.
and then yeah, if I could fly into someone and stab them to death, that would be great.
Perfect. And the closet in which you find this renowned and legendary broom, have you heard of this before? If this is a renowned kind of item, is this something the witches have spoken of?
Yeah, I think so. I think the auntie that we met in the first session maybe told a few tales about it when Abelard was first made a witch, and yeah, and I think the story of it is that it pierced the heart of the most powerful witch in the community, and the witch's blood infused into the sword of the broomstick and gave it the ability to also fly.
And you find yourself in the possession of this now. Dan,
Can
yeah.
I have a suggestion. Abelard was the one that did the piercing. This is something that Abelard does not remember.
Oh.
Fuck. Yes, yes, yes.
And
But
it
all
was
of
taken
you
away
know.
from Abelard and thrown away.
So everybody recognizes this, but Abelard recognizes that something out of story, and the rest of you recognize it as something that you've seen Abelard wield. In the past.
Is that the sword you killed that great witch with? How did you
what?
find that? I thought they took it from you.
I haven't killed any witches. What?
No.
They didn't mention that.
You know, when you were in your spectral
I
form.
definitely kick Killian. Like,
Regina, are we going to have a problem?
I don't think we're having any problems, are we, Killy?
Are you just trying to mess with my head at this most crucial point in my entire life? Reaching the heart, achieving my desire.
No, let's carry on.
Yes.
Abelard, all you need to know is it's yours, mate.
All right.
Good for you.
Glad we're clear on that.
The back wall of the closet where you found the broom is a thin membrane through which you can see rosy light. It looks like it would be easily slashed or pierced.
I'll unsheath the broomstick and simply score a very fine straight line in the membrane.
It's so tense that it just snaps apart, like curtains parting on a new scene.
I think from the memory of seeing Abelard like wield the sword before, I think Ruff's going to take a step back the moment it is
Yeah.
unsheathed. Just immediately, like without actually thinking. I think he's just going to just step back. It's like and just be like, to make it kind of clear that something bad happened before.
And clearly responding the heart hears you, and on the other side of this membrane, you see the scene your companions are describing, rendered once again in flesh and bone. You see an effigy of yourself in your true form, and in fact, an almost perfect replica, because it has all of the right parts to render a version of your true form, piercing the heart of a great witch with this broomstick blade. You see this scene that everybody is talking about, that you think that they're maybe imagining.
See, like that,
Played
do
out
none
here.
of you remember this?
Ruff's gonna rush forward and put his hands up towards the horrific thing in front of him, and he's gonna say, Abelard, it's me. All right, put it down, just put it down, calm down. Like to the horror, with Abelard behind him, knowing full well that Abelard's behind him, but he's basically repeating what he probably did before.
Oh,
Nice.
it was just like that.
This doesn't make any sense. I don't remember this at all. Wouldn't I have been cast out of the community if I'd done something like this?
Abelard, you're in the heart. Do you really think you haven't been cast out? Put it down.
Dan, do you think this is a role that's going to help you make progress on the delve, or is this just something you're sort of doing for Abelard's benefit?
I think making Abelard come to terms with it would probably help with the delve, because the idea is that part which like that memory would either come back, or something would cause the heart to stop this thing existing.
Yeah, it's, to be clear, it's motionless. This is a tableau that it has that is rendered for you, but still. In which case, this sounds like compel to me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and I don't have that.
I
Yes.
do, and
Right, so
I
it's-
will help you.
Cool. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
compel cursed. So Dan, you get one. You don't get one for compel. Do you have cursed?
No.
Cool. So you got one, and then one for Killian's help.
Okay.
What could go wrong? What could you lose?
Is the
You could get stabbed
I
by
could
me.
get stabbed in the back by Abelard.
Stabbed by me.
That is genuinely
cycle
the point.
repeats.
Like it could literally be either the horrific figure like stabs him, or Abelard stabs him, one or the other.
Why not
Yeah.
both?
Yeah,
I mean,
why not both? Like he could easily just take that. Yeah, I have a feeling that could be what's happening.
I like that. And we're back to risky, so you're going to lose your highest result.
On 2 dice.
Yeah,
Yep.
roll double tens.
2 10s.
I also
really
have
easy.
compel, but I don't think I can help you.
Don't think that. No.
Doing them in ascending order, that always helps us.
No, I
Well,
think tell us what the top
it's
one
kind
is.
it's kind of irrelevant.
Are they both the same?
I rolled a 10
Oh.
and a 6.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
So success with stress, I think.
Success with stress.
Okay.
Which
Nice.
could have been worse.
And
Could
do you
have been
reckon?
better.
Do you reckon it's mind stress? I reckon it's mind stress. I think mind stress sounds really
I
good
think that
right
sounds
now.
great.
I think we established the possible consequences, and they sounded
He's
very
stabbing.
stabby.
I don't know what you mean, Matt. I don't know.
Ego soup.
They might be mind stressed for Killian, actually, because Killian might not be getting stabbed in this.
That
I
is true.
would
This
fully
could be
play
a
it.
memory.
I'll
of
take whatever-
Killian.
Dan first.
Yeah.
Roll your d4 for the stress you're going to deal to the delve, first
That's
of
a-
all, because it
that's a
was a
4.
success. Amazing.
Ooh.
You're making such great progress, guys. You're 1 away.
Oh god.
Nice.
Next success gets you there.
Jeez.
And then Ruff is going to take 7 blood stress.
Fuck off.
And I think with that
actually, no,
high
I'm-
roll, I think Maddy,
Sorry.
you weigh in on this if you want to, but for 7 blood stress, it sounds like both actual Abelard and the heart's imitation Abelard are both attacking Ruff. What do you
Oh
think?
my god.
Yeah, I think Abelard feels a compulsion in his arms, and the sword seems to take on a life of its own. But his hands are glued to it so that he can't tear himself away. But he, with all his might, he tries to divert the blade of the broomstick sword to not drive through Ruff's heart, and so it just spears through the shoulder.
Well, we'll see how much damage it does when I roll for fallout.
And
Zack,
sorry, go on.
Killian witnessing this, I think I'm very happy for that to be mind stress. I only rolled a 1. I'm sorry.
God damn it!
Do you want
I've
to
been
swap?
trying this whole
I'll
game
swap you.
to get mind stress.
I'll swap you. You can take 7 mine, and I'll take 1 blood.
No, that's fine.
I'm going to use one of my powers called In the Thick of It, which is once per situation I can mark stress to any other resistance. Where is it? When I would mark stress to any other resistance than fortune, I mark it to fortune instead.
Right.
So I technically have 10 in fortune, so I'm definitely taking fortune stress.
Heck yeah. I'll roll for Zack's fallout
That's
first.
cool.
So what's your total stress now,
Only
Zack?
2.
You're fine. I rolled an 8.
Great.
And then Dan,
Yeah,
what's
10.
your total?
Oh my god.
I could roll it. I rolled a 10.
Oh.
What does that mean?
That puts you at major fortune fallout. Because you took it to fortune, so it's fortune fallout.
Okay, so if you rolled the same number, I get major. Okay, that makes
Yes,
sense.
I have to roll equal or under.
Yeah.
And if it's above 6, it's major.
Understood. I never really understood how that bit worked. That's fine.
So, clear all of your stress.
Yep. 0 stress now. I'm so unstressed. It's great.
So unstressed, but so unlucky.
Yeah.
Major fortune fallout. So what is the unluckiest thing that could happen to Ruff?
We just lost Maddy.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
no.
1 second. That was just all the stress going on, I think.
Yeah.
So stressful.
She's so upset that she stabbed me
Yeah, and it was like, I must leave
twice.
Just wait for them to return.
Yeah.
This bit can probably be cut out of the stream.
It's
Cut this
good
out.
that we're
Cut
pre-recording
all this out.
this.
Just cut it out. John, do you hear me? John, cut it out. All right? Cut it out.
Yes!
The hearts!
Hey,
It
they're back.
speaks, it speaks! Oh, no.
Hey, Maddy.
Hello, sorry, I did a stupid click and it closed the whole window rather than just the tab.
Oh no!
But hopefully we can cut that out.
Cut it out.
Simply cut it out.
Yeah. Come on, John, you know how.
I
Did
say keep it in.
anybody clock the exact moment that Maddy left and like where I should go back, where we should go back to?
You were just doing the major fallout. You were talking
Yes.
about what kind of major fallout.
Yeah, you hadn't
right.
decided what.
Okay. Oh, I think I know what this is going to be. Actually, I don't know if I need to look at the book for this.
All right. Major fortune fallout for Ruff.
Yeah. Yep. So clear all of your stress
Yep.
in all tracks. So unstressed yet so unlucky.
Yeah.
You're not stabbed. Abelard manages to turn the blade, and you manage to avoid the blade of the false Abelard that the heart has created. So you're not stabbed. But as you move out of the way of these attacks, the ground below you rumbles. And bursting up from the ground, right under Ruff, a horror.
Oh,
Not a
no.
horror.
A horror.
Not a horror.
Star-nosed moles are not native to this region of the world. So how is there one here? And why is it so big?
Oh god.
Somebody came into the heart with the image in their head of a star-nosed mole, and the heart responded. And this was the result. The size of a black bear, erupting from the ground, the tendrils of its face prehensile. The heart assumes that those are, useful, writhing like worms as this thing with enormous bone claws erupts out of the flesh floor of this chamber right underneath Ruff, catching you in one claw. You see as it bursts out of the ground, the heart didn't bother to give it back legs. It's just dragging itself along on those huge bony front claws.
The heart has never seen it have back legs.
Yeah, the heart truly does not understand the premise of yes and.
It's just yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much Ghostbusters.
And a thing Ruff probably doesn't notice as this thing just erupts under him, but that one or other of the rest of you might notice, is that this star-nosed mole has an external human-looking heart. And, human and Elfir and Drow hearts look much the same.
Why external?
And with those claws, it begins to dig and burrow through the meat of the walls and floor of this chamber. What would anybody like to do?
Can I attempt to evade?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
I'd like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, this is just going to be to get yourself out of the situation. This isn't actually going to help you on the delve.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It can potentially put you in a better position. Evade cursed.
Yeah, so because I suffered fortune fallout, I technically roll with mastery for the remainder of the situation.
Amazing.
I have evade after taking it on my last minor bump, which is good. So I'm rolling 3.
Great. Anybody want to help Ruff evade this?
I don't think I have any of the necessary skills.
All right. Go ahead then.
Is this still risky?
It's still risky.
Okie
Sort of
dokie
cancelled
then.
out by your mastery, effectively.
Yeah. Okay, so the rolls are 5, 8, and 8.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
Which I'm pretty happy about.
So tell us what this looks like as you get out of this thing's grasp.
I think he will look down at it and essentially he will kick out of it. So he basically kicks at the actual star itself, and sort of as he does, he sort of backward rolls away. And
The tendrils of the star nose whip and try to grab around your ankle as you're kicking, but you're not caught.
he basically and like he tries to make himself as small as possible as he's like barreling out of the way for now, and he readies himself to fight the thing.
What's the next action to try and progress on this delve? You only need one more success to get where you're going.
I think run. I think just run from the thing.
I mean, I could stare it down.
You've also seen a vision of a safe bolt hole.
That is a good point. And actually, I can use a power for that as well. So around the next corner is I can find a place of shelter, smuggle up, and let things blow over. So once per delve, you find an out-of-the-way location where you catch your breath, recuperate without fear of being discovered by your enemies. And I can take your time and heal here without incurring a bane, sort of deal. So it's essentially he knows of a bolt hole, sort of thing. He can round the corner. There's a bolt hole. He knows it's there, sort of deal.
So I think no roll necessary because you've seen it in a vision and you know where it is. You can get away from the beast and get all of your companions into this safe place, and then from there, as a staging
we can do the next thing.
Somebody will need to do the next thing.
Yeah.
What does this place? This is your bolt hole, as created by the heart in this strange meaty workshop. So what does it look like?
It looks like it's been sort of it looks like it's like there's like foliage in the way of it, even though it's not real foliage. Like it's it looks unassuming. It looks like it's just part of the wall, and it's clear that this is something that he's built in the past, or he's built like a bolt hole like this in the past.
How do you like this, Dan?
Go on.
You built this refuge where you first fell.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
And the heart has recreated that moment here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
So there is a heart's blood recreation and in tableau of your own fallen body. You didn't die here, not in a way that people would recognize as death, in that you're still here going. But this recreation certainly looks like falling is the word that's used for heroes in battle rather than dying.
And it looks exactly like Ruff, right?
Down to the badge.
Does the badge have a name on it?
I don't know, does it?
I want to say it has Barkley spelt wrong. As in the heart knew who he was, but didn't know how to spell it.
It's like AI generated text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you ask the AI for the Pizza Hut logo.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Like so it definitely is him, but the heart just got it wrong.
Yeah. And you can still hear off around the corner the snuffling and the clawing of that heart's blood mole. But it can't find any of you here, so you have a moment to catch your breath and make your final push.
Ruff is going to go pretty catatonic for a bit. He essentially sits in a corner staring at his own body, and he shakily rolls a cigarette and takes a drink from his flask, and he says nothing to anyone.
I wonder which volume had that story in. I guess I could, unless Abelard, you had anything, I can use me to scout out a route, but I didn't know if you had anything.
Oh, I'm not too. You go ahead. Yeah, that was a lot.
Okay, I feel like, oh, fine. No, I'm best placed for this. Okay, I'm just gonna say some mantras. Okay, and I close my eyes, and then the bees just burst out of all the areas, and I'm gonna use my ability, which I believe is called Many Eyes. I'll leave that to describe it, in the sense of I close my eyes and I can see through the eyes of any of my bees, showing you to spy around corners and look for closed spaces, etc. It does say I can't control the bees directly. Which I only just read now. But you have enough at your disposal to cover the area around you. So I guess I'm just looking for if there's any sort of hidden paths or any sort of crevices that maybe Killian can use his magic into opening them,
That sounds like a discern cursed to me.
Well, I have discern. I do not have cursed. Don't think do any of us have cursed? I don't think so.
No.
I have discern, but I do not have curse.
I have discern. I could help. Yeah, we could both help.
Yeah.
Ruff ain't helping no one right now.
That's fair.
Ruff can't come to the phone right now.
Great. And what have you got to lose?
Oh, my bees.
So many bees.
Yeah, I've kind of
Sad.
sent them out on a sad mission where there's a massive, F-off monster that's probably chomping its way through the heart. So, and it doesn't have any back legs, which is terrifying. So, I've
Great.
got
So it's what are you doing? 1 + 1 for discern.
Yep.
Plus 2 for your companion's help.
Oh, fantastic! So that is.
And we're losing the top one because we're still risky.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. So, losing the top one, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What are we losing?
We're losing a 10.
Shame.
I rolled a 2, a 2, and a 9.
I will put down my dealing stress dice because you do not take any.
You're just holding it in your hand, ready at a moment's notice.
The heart sitting back there going, "Ooh, yes."
It was me all along.
It was.
Do you want to roll the d4 just to see how much you beat the delve by.
You know what? So because I haven't had a chance to beat the delve, and I just, the bees might have it. The bees have it.
Oh, the bees have got it.
The bees have got it.
It's a 4.
Amazing.
The bees did have it.
The bees did have it.
You overkilled the delve to the heart itself. What do you find, and how do all of you end your delve and arrive at the heart itself?
I like the fact it's such overkill that literally it isn't out. We go down one passageway and it's there. Like, we didn't have to go very far at all. Literally, the bees go out and they sort of come back and like tap on the shoulder and it's like, oh, it's just around the corner.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, that's a little anticlimactic, but we were almost there. Come bees, and they go back in.
Well,
Is Ruff still in a state?
He's very much so. I think he'll finish rolling his cigarette, and then he'll just put it down on the body, and then he'll just stand up and sort of like clear his throat, crick his neck once more, and then he'll stride out like again sort of half. Not necessarily ignoring everyone, but again, there's more like he's resolved himself to do this now. Like he's like, this is either where I die or this is where I have died. It's irrelevant.
Constantly striding. Okay, I guess that's our mood. Let's go. And yeah, I'll follow out Ruff.
And you all head down this corridor that Regina's bees spotted, and as you head through it, the word in your head morphs from corridor to vessel. Walking through a giant aorta or vena cava, perhaps. You walk into darkness, and in the darkness you see a small point of light, and that point of light comes closer and resolves itself as a clear, glassy, aqueous globe, like an eye almost, but completely clear all over. Inside which is Melissa Thistle, raging. She's hovering at the center of the globe like she's in liquid, and that black unmaking sludge is still leaking from where her heart should be, and she's directing it and flinging it at the walls of this globe imprisoning her, and it looks like it's having some effect, but she's being contained and held at bay for now. As the low glimmering light from that globe starts to spread out, and you see that you are in one of the chambers of a literal enormous heart, up to your knees in blood. And this globe is dangling from a tendon at the center of this chamber, as Melissa has been drawn here to the heart itself. She has the power to completely destroy it, and it is containing her and defending itself for now, but probably can't forever.
little birdie trapped in a cage.
Brother?
Be a shame if Cat were to catch the bird in the cage.
I don't want to be here, brother.
You don't want anything.
I didn't want what they wanted for me. With you gone, the pressure.
You did this to yourself, dear sister.
I didn't want it, though.
And what did you want? Well, allow me to give you nothing and I'll fill her lungs with water.
Yes.
How does that power work? Are there mechanics to it, or does it just happen?
Let me do it. So, it is the kiss of the drowned queen. This spell functions as the following weapon: kill D6 piercing. If the target is at least shin deep in water, it inflicts D8 damage.
Roll kill cursed.
Okay, I have kill. I don't have cursed. Is this risky?
Oh, my friend, this is dangerous.
So what does that mean?
That knocks off your top 2.
I only have 2 dice.
Okay, so you roll 1.
Uh-huh.
10 is a success, but you take stress. Everything else is a failure.
Oh.
Does
Lord.
anyone want to help me? No?
I don't have
Don't
anything.
have
I
the
don't have
skills.
anything. That's the thing.
No one has kill?
I could do it if I turn into my true form, but I don't think there's enough time.
Okay.
I have mend.
Ooh.
I feel like this is not a mending
I do
situation.
want to, while Zack's rolling this, I do want to check in with you, Maddy, because Abelard finds himself in the heart itself.
Yeah. This is a big moment for me.
And Killian's just taken all the limelight.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all
Mama.
good.
It's okay. You can take that limelight because I rolled a 3.
I'm going to roll some stress for you. We didn't establish what could go wrong, but I mean, anything could happen.
My
here.
guy.
Like he wants salt water to happen.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
2 echo stress.
Okay.
Fine.
And then what does that put you at total?
That puts me only at 4 total.
I rolled a 4. Minor echo stress.
Okay.
That is unfortunate.
So what does that look like?
I mean, this is only minor technically, but here we are at the end of the session. So I hope you'll forgive me for going hard here.
No, go as hard as you like.
Do it.
You attempt, you reach out to the unknowable being. You reach out to the drowned queen, a strange entity of the heart, and you call on her power to attack your sister here at the heart of all things. And the heart sees you make that connection, and it brings you and your sister together. The globe rushes towards you all, and Killian is accepted through the membrane into the globe with Melissa.
Okay, great. Cool, thank you.
Oh Lord.
Anyways, what are you guys doing?
Abelard is slowly backing away from the group towards the walls of the heart. And when they reach the warm, inviting, damp walls, they press themselves into it and just wish with all their might that they just are absorbed into this unknowable entity. And as granted the knowledge,
peace out?
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what Avalon is doing.
Yeah. just like, I wanted to get here, I got here, bye.
Bye.
Jesus.
I mean, this is such a significant thing, but I don't know if it needs a roll, because this is what the heart wants as well.
Yeah.
And
Unless you can think of, like, what have you got to lose in this situation that would cause it to be a roll?
I don't know. I've got my Zenith beat. Find the final secret you have so desperately sought and use it to solve your impossible task. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that's.
I
I'm
mean, this
assuming
is-
that's relevant.
That's... Consider this you hitting that beat, and also if anybody feels like they hit a beat on the delve, that situation is over now, so feel free to grab those abilities. So, Maddy, if you've achieved that Zenith beat, what does that unlock for you? Did you have a Zenith ability in mind?
No, I didn't. So
have a quick look at those.
Yes.
On the they'll be part of the witch class. As Killian is now in the bubble with all of the unmaking sludge that is still pouring out of his sister, and with his sister herself at the centre. Ruff and Regina looking on as all this happens.
I could have something, but I'll let Ruff go first. If you have anything, Dan. I'll give you a clue what mine involves.
Go
Bees.
on. Yeah, yours involves bees. I think at the moment, Regina and Ruff are kind of aligned. Because I have a feeling that both of them don't want the heart to win.
Yes. We've not been on the same page, but now we are.
I think now they're very much wanting the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. I didn't think we'd be here either. I mean, yeah, I'll just do it. I will release the swarm, and we'll see what happens. I think ultimately we maybe flash back to that moment, and I think because there can only be really one queen bee around here, but I have a suspicion that Melly came up with the whole plan, like was very subservient, but maybe was like, oh, I've got this great idea for a fashion college, like doing all this stuff, and that I liked it. Like, yes, I take it for my own, and now I realise that she's taking stuff away from me again, as always. So I'm just like, get out of the way, and throw bees at this membrane, and maybe that will do something. Might also kill me. So that is a kill D4.
Great. Roll
yeah.
kill cursed. And this is dangerous.
What can I interject quickly? Abelard's bow sword. Broom sword. Has that gone with them into the heart?
Up to you, Maddy.
I think Abelard would have, as soon as it was possible, once the kind of adhesive quality had finished, would have dropped it and just dropped it at the feet of the star-nosed mole. So now the star-nosed mole has a very powerful sword.
Incredible.
Okay, cool. So back then. All right, cool. That makes sense. All right. Damn it, I wanted to use it. That would have been really cool.
Sorry.
That's all right. No, that's all good.
All right. So, fun fact. I do not have kill or cursed. And I know what that means if you take the top two. So basically I have to roll a d10 and get a 10.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's a failure. I have a question, Game Master, about unorthodox methods.
Yes.
So that says, obviously, gain to discern. So once per session, before you roll the dice to resolve an action, instead state your result is 6. You succeed but take stress.
That's how we worked it when Zack used it last session. So that is, you can use that as a way to overcome the only rolling one die.
But I really want to roll and see what finds out. So I'm just going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I just wanted to check if that was the option. But I think, yeah. Regina.
Oh my God. You're a crazy person.
We're all crazy.
I love it. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh.
It's 100% a 2.
You attack the thing that the heart itself is using to protect itself right here in its heartland. You take... How am I rolling so low at this point in the game? 1 echo stress.
Ow.
And then what's your total?
The total is now 7.
The heart is
And
just
you take-
swatting you.
Yeah. You take minor echo fallout, and that's exactly the fallout that Killian took just now. So the heart interprets you reaching out with your bees to this membrane as you wishing to be one with it. Once again, the membrane expands, taking up more and more of this chamber, and accepts Regina and her swarm into it as well.
Hello.
Killian and Regina, you're both now in the bubble with Mel, and you have but a moment to react before the goo pouring out of her heart hole unmakes you both. What would you like to try to do?
I have something,
I'll
Okay.
let you go for
if
it. Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
Dan does as well. We'll
I
come
also
to you
do.
in a sec, Dan.
I
all good.
think Dan might want to go first because what I've got is not a thing we'll come back from.
It sounds like a grenade.
I
Okay,
think-
Dan, what you got?
Seeing as we are where we are, and all that, would it be too much to ask for my Zenith beat to be completed, seeing as we all have a similar Zenith beat, but my goal is to destroy this place?
Well, your goal was to destroy like the knowledge that would allow you to erect your monument.
Well, actually,
effectively.
no, sorry, to so desperately sought to use it to solve my impossible task. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you justify to me how you're achieving that. And
Basically,
we'll go with
he believes this is where he died. He believes this is where he always dies. He always comes back here because this is where he dies. And he is going to take his badge and essentially drive the pin into this bubble in an attempt to burst it. And and while he's doing that, he is shouting massive expletives towards the heart. It is like, honestly, it'd be like on like Jerry Springer, just constant beeps. And it's essentially I'm basically trying to, it's gonna be kind of a weird thing, but I'm basically trying to use my stare down ability while also using my badge to sort of end this. And yeah, if it was a Zenith beat allowed, I would be using my Zenith power as well.
Okay. We'll
Which is up
allow
to you.
this because why the hell not at this point? We'll come back to you in just a
Yeah,
second
that's
for
fine.
the outcome of that.
I
Zack,
will
what were you
remember
doing?
this precedent. Oh, am I remembering the precedent now? I think my Zenith beat is to unmake my family. And I think in this moment, I would like, if you'll allow me, I think my Zenith beat also fulfills, my Zenith power also fulfills my Zenith beat.
I'll allow that to work that way round. No trouble.
And I would like to use the Herald of the Stone Chorus. I can only cast the spell once, but I do so automatically without needing to roll. A creature or entity that you are touching is sealed away in the Stone Chorus prison eternally, and I become part of the mechanism that locks the door and cease to exist in a meaningful sense. Nothing can free them from this prison short of me, the door, agreeing to open. You watch, I think, as I lunge myself towards my sister, hands attempting to grip her throat.
Your
I
hands
am-
start to come apart as you're touching her.
I am unmade bit by bit. It's almost like in X-Men The Last Stand when Wolverine's being torn apart. I am nearly...
She's screaming, I don't want this. I never wanted this, brother.
You want nothing! And I wrap my hands around her throat, and you watch as they interlock and become one. And I will seal her away forever. And lose myself in that moment.
And I think this is at the same time as Ruff bursts the bubble, reaching out with this badge that contains the story of his life, his lives, everything that he's ever achieved as a hound. And what happens, Dan?
I'm going to use my Zenith feat called Incursion. Incursion, basically the culmination of a dark ritual. I guess this kind of counts. You smash your badge apart on an altar made of bones and shell casings to summon the last moments of the 33rd to your location. reality comes undone. The world is transformed into a twisted, burning maze of trench and razor wire, and the 33rd act out their terrified final moments on whoever they can find. The landmark you're in is destroyed. Pretty much everything inside it dies, and your mind is blasted into pieces as you witness the lengths they went to in order to survive.
I would like to raise a question because I have already activated my Zenith Beat and my Zenith ability. And my Zenith ability is Final Form. You reach down deep within yourself inside the singing of your blood and unearth your purest state, a night black being of wrath and ruin. Your true form is but a mere shadow of this. You have complete control over the landmark you are currently occupying.
Oh my god!
And you are omniscient and omnipresent within its borders. You alone choose who lives and dies inside. And then afterwards, I become like a ghostly essence forever imprinted on this place.
Holy shit.
So I feel like we're at an impasse.
Oh my god! That's so cool!
All things are possible here, and reality splinters as Ruff creates a new bunker at the center of a maze of trenches. Sits not a bunker, but a vault that is Killian Thistle, that contains Melissa Thistle, and that vault and that trench network now exist where the heart itself was. But at the same time, Abelard becomes the heart itself, takes complete control of it. And this is the one place in all of reality where both things could be true at the same time. The wording of incursion says pretty much everything here dies. Yep. So, Fiona.
Right, yeah, I'm looking at my Zenith just to see if I can do anything. I don't think I can. That's just fine. Yeah.
So, which version of this outcome does Regina find herself in? And how is it related to she's thinking all of this stuff about Melissa, and Melissa's trying to take everything from me. Melissa's trying to steal things from me. You see Melissa sealed, and yet you don't see that because there's another version of reality happening at the same time with Abelard. So what happens to Regina?
Oh, yeah. Well, like any hive that suddenly is fractious and loses its sort of queen, I think what happens is that there is a break in realities where Regina is split between two hives, essentially, and loses all sort of, before whatever was controlling the person formerly known as Regina, it's just split between these two realities, almost like the window cracking in everything everywhere all at once. And I think a mixture of like half the bees dying in this horrible warfare thing, and then also just being in this incredible sort of heart-like thing and desperately trying to grasp onto something, trying to find its the thing to guide it, essentially. But yeah, the wax organs, these sort of paper trails, just ultimately just paper dust, as if whatever was inside, there wasn't anything. It just no idea how it stood up this whole time.
Still destroyed in a way, but Regina, of all people, was becoming more and more a swarm rather than an individual. So who else could survive a splintering into two realities? And I have two final questions before we wrap this up. One is for you, Dan. What is Ruff's role in the new bunker vault? Do you become the new captain? Are you a hound ranging? What are you, or are you gone?
The last thing he does is he adds his own name to the memorial, and then he disappears.
And then finally for you, Maddy, Abelard becomes the heart we've seen all of the results of the Heart's thought process and machinations and what it's tried to do for the people who live there. How does the city change with Abelard now guiding that consciousness?
I think that something Abelard would never have expected happens. I think that the mission that his parents gave him to help restore their former glory as drow who had their birthright stolen by the Aelfir, he tries to fulfill that promise, even though that was the last thing on his mind. He was entirely selfish, greed for power, but there's some remnant of goodness kind of that's unlocked by this mind-expanding experience. And so there is now a new district of the Heart, which is a sort of twisted replica of the city above, with all the grand houses and all the luxuries, but rendered in meat.
And it seems fitting that on that phrase, which we've heard probably too many times tonight, we end our story.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you, players, so much for leaning into that and for playing this game. Thank you, viewers, for joining us for this weirdness. Thank you, as always, to producer John.
Oh,
making
man.
sure this happened.
John,
Do you guys hear the music?
Yeah, come on, right at the end. I was going to cry.
So good.
Very good.
I have been Merely Matt. Once again, you can find me on the Merely Roleplayers podcast. Go to merelyroleplayers.com or find us on Instagram or your usual podcast app. Let's go back round the other way to how we did it at the beginning. Fiona,
I knew
where else can we find you on
Damn,
the
damn,
internet?
double damn.
Damn, when I'm not trying to be an absolute bitch, you can find me.
Is that the first time we've said that in the 2
I
episodes?
think so, yeah.
So, yes, absolutely. You can find me on What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast with lots of different RPG systems. You can also find me on the DM's Book Club, which talks about D&D lore and how we can improve it and put it into our campaigns, and just have great stories. And just to say, you can find them wherever you listen to podcasts. And well done, this team, amazing. Matt, incredible, really well done.
Thank you. It takes a team. It takes a village.
Yes.
Continuing around the screens, Zack, where else
Hello.
can we find you?
You can find me all over the internet at ZackFG. That's ZackFG. I guess I have hot takes about things. I don't. But you should listen to Realms of Peril and Glory, which is the actual play podcast that I produce. Maddy is one of our cast members. Fiona later this year is going to be, in fact, very soon is going to be on it, or this year in or You Awaken in a Strange Place series, but also is hosting our something upcoming for us. I just almost gave it away. I can't.
You
give it
did, I
away.
know. I was like, what are you doing? What are you
I'll
doing?
say that, and I really shouldn't.
Almost a soft launch there.
Yeah, it was.
I've done it before. But Fiona will be on it. And I'm sure in time we will have all the people who are on this channel
Yes.
on at some point over the years. It's beautifully sound designed, gorgeous original music, and just great storytelling from some fabulous people all around from the UK tabletop scene. Also, if you have time while you're over here on Twitch, go over to the RP Geeks D&D channel, because I'm running Masks 2044 for Liv Kennedy, Nathan Blades, Shamini Bundell, and Emily Bates. It's superhero drama, high stakes, emotional tension between these really fucked up characters, and heaps of superpowers. You're gonna love it. And I'll be doing live talkbacks with Emily and some of the rest of the cast. So go check those out on Mondays.
Thank you very much. Continuing around the screens, Dan, where can we find you?
Oh God, when I'm not being a traumatized immortal, I'm just a random idiot on the internet. It's great. Come join us over on the Brit Twits YouTube channel or Brit Twits Twitch channel. We play a lot of video games. We're currently playing Baldur's Gate 3 as a group of three of us. The three of us in the Brit Twits. I keep saying 3 a lot, which is weird. So yeah, come watch us do that. It's been quite fun so far. We have made all the bad mistakes. We're also playing Final Fantasy X-2, which is great. It's a stupid game, very dumb, but I love it. It reminds me of my childhood.
Dress spheres.
Yeah, dress spheres are the best. We're also, what else are we doing? I'm doing honor mode on Twitch as well, so come see me be bad at video games. And before I hand it over, Matt, bloody hell, mate, that was incredible.
Yeah,
Thank you
really
so
good.
much. That was so much fun.
Like the City Beneath itself, this game is what everybody brings to it.
Like,
So
I messaged Matt about the whole like Ruff not actually dying like weeks ago, and Matt was like, yeah, fuck it, we could do that. I was just like, yeah, that sounds great.
You did my job for me. I'm not going to say no.
So good. And honestly, it's just like the way it was all melded in, perfect, absolutely perfect. So thank you so much, Matt. That was great. Really enjoyed being a part of this. So thank you.
Thank you for everything you brought to this. And last but not least, Maddy, where can we find you?
You can find me across social media at Maddy is Abstract, and there's a link in my bio to all the various things that I do. And currently, the first link in the chain is a link to Science and Sorcery's wonderful fundraiser for Palestine, and they've very kindly had me join that. So I would very much like to plug that. You can pledge for various rewards for Science and Sorcery streams, like suggesting characters for them to play and naming NPCs, just anything that you can give for the cause would be greatly appreciated.
Get involved.
Yeah, absolutely follow those links. Thank you all again, players. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want more like this, or if you want Zack to accidentally give you more exclusives about upcoming things in other places, don't forget to follow Actual Play UK on Twitch if you're not already, and subscribe if you're able. If you enjoyed this game is written by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor from Rowan Rook and Decard. And upcoming on Actual Play UK on the 1st of March, another group is playing a different Grant Howitt game with a very different tone. We have a game of Honey Heist coming up, which is the game of bears who are criminals robbing a honey convention.
It's a classic.
It's
Classic.
an absolute classic of the one-page role-playing game genre.
Oh bother.
The game that launched 1,000 ships.
Yes. Yeah,
100%.
1,000 animal crime games. A whole genre of animal crime role-playing games. So tune in for that on the 1st of March, and
The
also
animal
on
do crime.
yeah. And also on Thursday, the 22nd, coming up, we've got the next part of the continuing Delta Green campaign here on Actual Play UK. So keep tuning into the streams. If you want more stuff like this to happen with cool people from around UK TTRPG podcasts and streams, tell your friends about stuff like this. Tell them to come and watch these streams. Send them the YouTube VODs once those go up. Let them know what cool stuff is happening so we can grow the channel and bring more people in to do more cool stuff. And of course, find Actual Play UK at Actual Play UK on Twitter and Instagram. And follow it there if you're not already.
Do it.
I think that is about all we have to do. So all we have left to do is thank everybody once again and sign off as we did last time by telling you to always keep us in your hearts.
Yay.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.